From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear presents Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial. It has been an amazing start to this season. We've had some pretty great matches come up. We've had some pretty great fights that we've seen. a lot of new teams that have popped into this competition now, and it's gotten all the more better than we could expect it to be. I'm your boy Universe, and today I've got Crips by my side to try and break down everything that's going to be coming in front of our screens today, lay out the story, and Crips, how are you feeling? Because today's matches are going to be a banger, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. Every day is a banger. I'm feeling particularly excited today because I'm kind of in the festive mood. And you know what happens when festivals roll around? Big explosions, firecrackers, and a lot of celebration. Today, to celebrate this nice occasion, we have Salt Esports versus FSESports to start things off. And then later on, we have TEAMXO versus ROG Academy.
Yeah, it is two pretty great matches. Salt Esports are going to be making their debut against FS Esports, who had a bit of a roster change themselves across the two iterations of this competition. Now that they're coming in with yet again another new roster, we still have a interesting lineup for them because we've got new players come in with some of the old ones still sticking around since the first season. Where Salt Esports, hailing from Pakistan, have been a team that we've seen around in different tournaments. We've seen them perform against Velocity. We've seen them perform against Global. We've seen them face off against Exploit in their own competition sometimes. And it's been pretty crazy. They've been at, a really good team to face off against. They are pretty much on the tier 1 of Pakistan along with Team Exploit, I would say. And to, face off now against the teams like FS Esports and the rest of them in the group. Salt are just proving their salt at this point, no pun intended, and they just, are gonna have to be as good, I believe, as they always were, because I think FS with their roster change could be looking at something of a, new stone turned over.
Well, I think they're gonna have to turn a new leaf over as well if they want to start this season off in a good note. Let's take a look at the standings so far and see what it looks like, which team is where, and what's at stake over here. So for Salt Esports, there's not too much at stake because this is gonna be their first game, and they have a chance to start things off fresh. For FS Esports too, they both haven't played in the series at all. So if any of these teams win over here, that will be a great debut match for them in season 3. And of course, you want to start things off on a good note. I mean, while we are speaking about festivities, there is this one thing that most Indians believe in, and it is if you start things right, then you will end things right as well. And that's probably the only superstition that I will ever believe in. And I think both these teams would want to have a great start.
Yeah, well, it is all about the first step in the right direction, and that's only going to start when you look at the first map, and you have the right stand, strategies coming into place, all of that. But looking at things right now, it's gonna be 4 teams at top, which it's customary how it all starts out. It's always gonna be the 1-1-1-1-0-0-0-0. It's always gonna be 4 teams that are always gonna win at first. And now it's for either Salt or FS to show us who's gonna be starting off on a good foot, getting the green mat underway. Now, let's have a look at who exactly is going to be on the playground with us from the side Salt Esports. And going into the stream intro, I mean, not a surprise over here. Hats, Jinx, Beast, Stranger, and Trick have been really, really impressive across every other tournament that we've seen them play. They played in the VCC as well. They were among the top 5 teams. They did a pretty great job, to be honest, of trying to stand up to the juggernauts of Velocity and Global. Couldn't make it through, but still proved a lot in terms of talent, didn't they?
Definitely. And that's kind of what put them on the leaderboard and kind of what put them on the radar of a lot of these tournament organizers. TEC2, we found out about their existence and we found out that, hey, just across the border, there's way too many talented people and they should also be a part of this season. That's why Salt Esports is over here. And honestly, I'm really excited to see these guys in action because we've seen a lot of Indian teams across season 1 and 2, but now that we have opened up the parameters to the entirety of South Asia, the competition is going to be tougher because the players are going to be available from each and every corner of the subcontinent.
Yeah, most certainly. And these players are going to be trying to show everybody in South Asia what exactly it is they can do. Salt Esports, well, they've had a journey across other titles of tournaments, and now they're coming here to prove their mettle And to face off against them is a team that I believe, we've seen them in all 3 editions of this tournament now. The second one, they kind of changed their name, a little bit of a roster change, but they're yet again here. FSESports, ladies and gentlemen, have been pretty much what you would call a mid-table team, which has shown a little bit of promise to try and move ahead to that, top spot. B2, K3, Coley, Cortez, and Dominic now. We can see the exit of Cactus from this roster. But I love that these guys are, so fascinated with, the 1 letter, 1 number combo. B2, K3. If all 5 of them had the same name, I wouldn't even be surprised.
I wouldn't even be surprised if anyone comes up with the name R2D2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of sound like Terminator or code names from some sort of a sci-fi movie. And honestly, I dig that because when you have these sci-fi names going up in the kill feed, you kind of expect these guys also to play like the human version of Terminator. Pull out the old Arnold Schwarzenegger Roden and just lay waste to everything you see and touch. That's the kind of action I expect to see from FSESports today. Yeah, the exit of Cactus might just make things a little difficult because Cactus used to be a very important anti-backstab guy for the team. He was basically the security guard who would make sure that his soldiers up in the front lines would stay safe. So without him, I don't know how these teams will be. I mean, I don't know how these teams will be able to make this one work. But
Yeah, we saw Cactus play a couple of times as the Sentinel, but he loved playing on that jet. He was on top of the MVP standings as well for quite a few weeks. I think in season 1 that was, and he did quite a number being on this team. And now, he's left. There might be a hole that I don't think is going to be filled that easily, just because of the fact that, he was so dynamic with the way that he used to play around with that jet, and he was flexible. So who's going to be filling in that role? Either Dominic or Cortez. We're going to have to wait and see. But FSESports have had a iteration where they've gone through many roster changes, and they're still sticking by here. Are they going to be able to make it through this season as well? We're just going to have to wait and find out. But they've shown that they can hold on to themselves in the competition where they've got such big names coming up. They've not been relegated. So that's still, a sentence that says something. But hey, all about the sentences can be made a case for later, as we're going to have to make a case right now for the maps that we're going to be looking at. Let's have a look at the map widows and see where exactly this battle is going to be taking place between 2 really good teams. And Salt Esports have gone for Haven, as FSESports have gone for Ascent, and the decider is going to be Icebox. Now, Crips, I know you're not a fan of Ascent, but now it's in the mix. So what do you think? Having watched how Salt Esports play, not as much as FS, I believe, do you think that, it could be a bit of a trouble for them?
hey, I have nothing against Ascent. I just think that it's a very, how do I say this, very evenly matched map. You can't have specialties on Ascent. And even if you think you're a good team in Ascent, there will always be days where you struggle on it because the other team can be just as equally good. Although in Haven and Icebox, if you have a certain strat which you know is going to work for sure, then there's very little chance that the enemy team will counter you. Either way, I'm actually happy that Salt Esports are starting with Haven because then they get to showcase their tactical supremacy right at the beginning. FSESports, obviously, because the lineup is new and they haven't gotten a time to gel well with each other that much, they will probably pick up Ascent because even the new lineup without too much coordination can make Ascent work as long as they have the firepower. So I think that's exactly why they've gone for Ascent. And Icebox is something that was just left over, so nobody really wanted that, but they don't mind playing it as such.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to go for a straight up the bans. I think they went for Breeze. They went ahead and banned Fracture. 2 maps that I'm pretty sure both of these teams wouldn't have wanted to play. But watching Salt Esports pick up Haven is something that I was actually expecting, because I remember watching them on Haven multiple times during when the VCC was going on, and they actually did quite a number of performances that actually put a huge dent towards the big names that we usually see come up in our region. And it's actually one of their strong maps. So I'm actually surprised that FSESports have let them get past that. I get it that, if you're new roster, you don't really want to play Breeze or Fracture, but when you've got new grounds as such, like Breeze or Fracture, it's rather easier to play a team which does not know as much over there as well, to keep it like, an even 50-50 or even a 60-40 chance, than to give your opponent a map that they would definitely be really comfortable with.
Well, if that's the case, then I think FS Esports are in trouble. They need to outmaneuver and outpower Salt Esports in this one. Overpower, I
Yeah.
mean. Uh, but yeah, if that's what the case is, if Salt Esports indeed is very comfortable in Ascent, then I wish them the best of luck. I hope that they can drag it to a map number 3. Either way, there is a little change in plan. Cactus is going to be playing today somehow.
Oh.
So I don't really know what's the scene over here. Even Dominic is no way. Dominic is the coach, so he's just in the server, but he's not going to be playing. Either way, I'm still excited to see what these guys have in store for us.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know Cactus was gonna play today, but if he is still on the lineup, then it's a good thing that these guys have stuck around for a little bit longer. There's still a bit of firepower that I think they can rely upon, because I have not really seen Dominic and Cortez play that much. So I wasn't really gonna count on how exactly they were gonna play, but I was ready to give them benefit of the doubt. But because I know how Cactus was, I think it's just good news for FS to try and have somebody who can be, that surgical divider, who can just, somehow make the round turn into their favor. But yeah, looking at the maps, it's gonna be a little difficult for FS, I believe, more so than for Salt. It doesn't matter that there might be, that the obvious ping difference that we see, because we have seen ping doesn't really make a difference over here. We saw the side of Team Exploit beat out S8UO just a couple of days ago, and that was another spectacle of its own. First map where we remember it was a little close by, but the second one, Exploit just completely destroyed S8UO. And this could be a, sort of similar line we could see, something that could come along the way. Salt Esports take FS pretty easily, but I still want to believe that FS Esports have got something different this season. They've come up with a banger of strategies on the maps that they've chosen. Ascent in particular is somewhere it's almost like a map where you can have too much strategies or almost nothing. There's no in between. You always have these kind of fakes that you can execute. You always see some new kind of lineups that come in, whether it be from the Sova, Killjoy. Now that we can see sometimes Breach being thrown at the mix as well by a couple of teams. We can see Sky always there almost on every single map at this point. There could be different strategies that FS can come up with, but it's all about how they perform and how we see them play, because we can speculate as much as we want to, but it's all up to the team to show us.
Yeah, that's true. And all these varieties of lineups will definitely keep the match interesting. Especially in Ascent, we've seen some teams go for a double duelist setup with the Raze and the Jet. Some teams prefer playing a double initiator. I haven't really seen a double sentinel in Ascent just yet, but we might see it in something like Icebox or maybe even Haven for that matter. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
the whole composition of these teams will depend on what kind of playstyle do they want to have. If they want to play super aggressively in your opponent's face kind of style, or if they want to chill, hold it back, and play methodically. So it really depends on what these guys want to be like today and what the vibe is all over the place.
Yeah, it is something that we're gonna have to wait and see. I really want to see who exactly sets the pace of the game, because I think early on, we know FS Esports can be a little aggressive if need be when they're on the attack, and they, I believe, are on the on the defense on Haven. And Salt Esports, their attack on their attack on Haven is really, really interesting, because of the way that they play around with their fakes. So in the pistol round, which I remember watching them play, it's usually you think about it that you see Velocity, teams like Velocity, they actually wait. They spread across their players, and they try to hold on to ground. They don't give away map control. They don't give away players unless there's a push from the other side. And Salt actually have sometimes a really strategic approach, just as the same. Most teams you would expect, pistol round, just go straight into a side. It's a 5v2 at best, especially on Haven, because you can't really, gamble that much across 3 sides on defense. It's paper thin, basically, and you just gamble onto that side and wait for the rotations to come in and, just bare fight your way through with bare fists, right? But Salt Esports actually are surgical in the ways, in the most of the times I've seen them play. They could switch it up, you never know. But these guys, they send out a player in each avenue, and they actually believe in the fact that these players can win out these 1v1 duels. And most of the times they actually did when the times I watched them play in the pistol runs, and they did a pretty good job, to be honest. You know, they love taking that slow, methodical approach in the pistol. And then immediately in the next round, they switch it up so much. Straight out burst run towards A or B or wherever it is that they want. And Salt Esports have this variability that comes into the play. They always have, you know, excuse me, this sort of either they hold it too long and they annoy the crap out of you, thinking, where the hell are these guys? Where are they going to be hitting? Or they hit in so hard and so fast that you have no idea what's coming at all. So, you know, FSESPORTS need, I hope they've done their homework in trying to read what these guys are going to do.
I'm hoping so too. And this changing in pace can really just mess with their opponent's mind. I mean,
Yeah.
they have to be versatile enough, just like salt, right? I mean, salt is probably the most versatile ingredient in food. You can use it in everything and anything. So it kind of stands true to their name when they do that, whether they're going for a breakneck approach or they just rush into the site or whether they're holding it methodically. Sometimes I feel like VLT is probably like the mix of them both. They are methodical, but they are still fast. And especially in Haven, they have a really nice push and pull mechanic going ahead. If
Yeah.
they push towards a site, they know that the opponents will try to take control from the other one. So they know that they'll be pulling rotations as well. And then they try to counter the rotations of their opponents before they even happen by either sending a player in towards the B side and trying to pick off the people who are crossing, or
Yeah.
just have one person watching for the backstab. Maybe a sentinel like Killjoy or a Cypher will be able to do that job while everyone else just decides to burst into the site themselves. And
Yeah.
especially on defense, these teams, they try to pick up these areas of the maps whenever they get the chance, because
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't they? The more area they control, the more information they can have. And that way they can gamble faster, they can rotate faster and start making these preemptive movements, which are kind of like a gamble play to some extent, because then they're just basically predicting what the enemy will do. And there is a small chance that the prediction is wrong. But they take this map control not because they want the control itself, but because they want the information and they want to be in a spot from where they can rotate to help out their teammates whenever necessary.
Yeah, you talk about Cypher on you know, Haven. It's just two names that come to my mind. It's RVK and Helef, but just because I know, you know, these guys when they're in the attack, they don't even leave their spawn. They just leave it just to put two tripwires wherever they can, and then they're back right there. They just sit in those lobbies, right, left and right, and they hold it on. But hey, if we're gonna see a Cypher today, it's gonna be a question, and it is gonna be answered really soon as we move into the agent selection screen, ladies and gentlemen. The players have been loaded up on the server. We are on track to start the match as Salt Esports made their debut against FS, and we cannot wait. Beast is flirting around with that breach, and I would expect one from their side. I've seen them play that breach meta quite a number of times, but they could be going for a Sky as well. Okay,
Both of
okay.
them.
All right, so it's gonna be a flash fest today. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your sunglasses. We're gonna be needing a lot of, you know, sun protection. Sorry, flash protection. Whereas on the other side of things, we've got a double duelist setup coming in. Cactus and Cortez could be going for it. And Dominic with the Astra as B2. I've seen that guy play the Cypher multiple times before. And it's a good choice for him to go. Okay, they're switching it up. No.
No way.
No. Okay, no. B2. You're just messing with. Oh no. Yeah, they're just messing
Yeah,
with
he's
us.
just
Okay.
messing with us.
Yeah.
All right, FS. We know you hate us. It's okay.
It's all right. We get it. Now you can just lock in what you want. You know, honestly, I wouldn't even mind seeing a 3 duelist setup. Throwing that Euro, dude.
Let's go.
I
Let's
don't even mind.
go.
Yeah,
Choose
but they're
your
not going for it.
agent.
There's gonna be a Phoenix for Cortez, as we've got Coley locking in that Sova on the other side of things. Hats is gonna be the one to play the controller role, and this is gonna be a really interesting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Dual Initiator, a Breach, and a Sky, something that we don't see often. Sova and Sky, pretty much every single day on every other map is a Sova and Sky combo for an Initiator, but Breach and Sky, it's kind of, you know, what we would see in a match where you're trying out something new, and I hope that Salt aren't really trying out something new because they could be punished for that, and I hope they have a game plan in store for how to utilize this Initiator combo.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to use Sky Flashes as a cheap recon dart of sorts. You get 2 of them, so if they get any
Yeah.
sound cue about an enemy being present in a certain area, that's what they'll use it for. But yeah, the lack of SOA does kind of make your life a little difficult in Haven because then there are no utilities available to deny any post plant situations. And they do have a Killjoy which can stop the post plant diffuse if they are starting on the attack size, and that they are. But come on, the Hunter's Fury, it's such an important tool to clear out these areas and just open up a site without any efforts either. So let's see what these guys have in store for us, as FS is going to be on defense and we have Team Salt on attack.
Yep. Here we go. Attacking for the side of... Okay, it looks like FS won attack. They've pushed up towards A-Long, and that's a lot of information early on. And Salt have actually taken this another methodical approach. They've not really sent out players every single avenue. They're just holding up towards mid. And now the initiators move towards A. And that's going to give information that a push has been made. The flash is going to give it away even more. And look at this. They're so aware of this. They know it, and they're not going to try and challenge it because that flash is good enough to send FS players back into their sites. And they push in towards B.
Yeah, and the Jet has rotated towards A shot, which means the B site is very vulnerable right now. They pick off Kohli through the smokes. B2 doesn't want to lose his life in the same way, so he'll just give it up and let them go for the spike plant. Now in a 4 versus 5, the retake will be on. But will it even be possible? There is a wraparound coming from the mid window, and it will be dealt with. Cactus and Cortez, they make this one work. Hats had to go for a very big flank towards the C side, but that has failed. And now the 2 stragglers who are in the site already are getting pulled by so much utility. There's nothing to stand in their way.
Wow, what a beautiful retake. That got a little, crusty around the edges a little bit. As soon as we saw the side of FS, they retreated back. That was a good decision by them. But when Salt took B, I thought they would really have the post plan to get it through. Fortunately, they couldn't. That's all right, though. It's just a pistol. It does set the precedent for the next 2 rounds, but that doesn't mean that this is, going to be the nature of the entire game. Just one round that in the beginning everybody wants to win, but even if you don't, still not going to be that much of a problem. It's going to be a full buy now coming in for FS, as an eco has set in place, and Salt, they took it a little methodically, and they saw the firepower that came in from FS, Crips, and I think now they might want to change their strategy up close and personal and really quick. Okay, B2.
Well, sometimes you try to click a photo and your finger just comes in the way.
Yeah. The perfect anecdote, my friend. Perfect. And that's actually so true. That is exactly what I think I would be feeling if I threw a camera like that. But right now, B2.
Timing.
Oh my god, that is so unfortunate.
Hey, but at least he will be able to spot out the Astra over here in the form of hats with that camera. And they make some noise over towards the garage area, so they know that there is a C plus garage execute coming in. The one-way smoke, or the Cypher Cage rather, will stop them from coming through. And so far, the assault is being dealt with. Spike is deep inside enemy territory, and there's no way to retrieve it.
Okay, Cactus. Alright. You just want to Alright, just
fade away headshots with like 2 bullets left in the chamber.
I mean, do you really expect anything else at this point in this game after everything we've seen? After what I saw yesterday, by the way, from Sus Squad.
Oh, yeah.
At a point, I just saw Drixit, I think he killed a person through the Astro Wall. I think so.
Huh? That's not possible.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe his gun barrel will be sticking out, and
I don't know. By the looks of it, it looked like he shot somebody through the Astro Wall. But you might want to just have a look at it, in 0.25 speed if you want to. But right now, Salt Esports are gonna keep 1.25 speed. They're running it towards B. Dominic is gonna be the first man of defense right here. He's gonna get putted out. Yes, he will. Gonna get taken out. B finds one. Stranger with another. B2 will trade back one, but this bonus round is not gonna wield them too much success. Two players have already fallen. I think that one more actually. Salt actually gets down another player. Yeah. Okay, 3 versus 3.
And they've dealt with the backstabber. There was a Phoenix coming through, hoping no, not a Phoenix. I think that was don't remember who that player is. Maybe the Breach who was trying to come through from that area. But either way, he's been dealt with. So there are nobody available in the mid area to stop FS from retaking the site. The only two players in the site itself will have a big job to do. But there's a decent crossfire. One towards the side, one towards long, and they tag Team FS.
Jivix's flashes were really important there, because I feel if those flashes were not available, that round could have been really, really nasty. It's only on the back of that Assault won, and it was a really costly round for them, losing out 3 players and being forced to reinvest where they don't really have the money to buy in as much as they would want to, given the clarity that they were in an eco before. So, Salt need to be careful. One of their players is on the Spectre, one of them is on half armor. Utility not as great as they want to be. It's not complete, but it is what they would, have to get by with. So Salt, they're gonna have their first real test now, as the A side looks to be of attraction.
Yeah, but let's see if this force of attraction is strong enough to get them in the side itself. Both the teams, they're kind of having fragile economies. Salt Esports do have 2 players with decent amount of money in the bank, but if they still lose this, they won't be able to go for a full buy in the next round. And I can say the same for FS. They've saved up enough to put an AWP in the hands of Cactus too. And if they do lose this round, then there will be no money left for them.
Yeah, but look at how passive. Look at how passive one. Oh, yeah, go on, please.
My God.
Please go on.
So the last one was more like a bonus round for the side of Team Salt. I'm sorry, for the side of Team FS. But this time, Team FS, they have no idea about this impending A hit. They sneak up all the way into a shot. The flashes go out the moment they're about to breach in, and they don't find anyone. So they will be able to get the plant, but this will be a 5v5 retake. And with 2 of the 4 flashes already being used, I don't know if Salt Esports will be able to hold them off. Maybe if Stranger keeps on getting frags like that, it will be possible. But Cactus just needs to connect 1 in order to make this one successful. Drake going above and beyond of what's required. He's trying to take matters into his own hands, hoping to just keep them at bay for as long as possible. Nanostorm grenades to delay. But so far, FS haven't got a single inch of the site. Now the jet dashes in, but the moment they go through, everyone just walks into a meat grinder. The crossfire too strong from Salt Esports.
That was really well executed. I mean, the passiveness that they were holding down A site with, B2 was the only guy there, and he was holding towards defender side spawn almost, and then he went up towards heaven. And the one thing that I was really getting concerned about was that earlier in the round when they were going for that plan, that Nebula was going to fade away because it had already stayed up there for too long. But then that jet smoke came in, and that was all they needed to hold Cactus off for a couple of more seconds. And they were just thrown off FS. They felt the need to impulsively go in, and when they did, they got completely beaten up.
And both the teams were just holding so passively. The moment they think that the time has come, they just burst in. Like, Salt snuck up on A short and A long, and then they just boom, straight into the side with the flashes. Same with FS. Everyone just dashes in at the same time. So these burst executes are super important, but the burst from the block is even more important. And then one tap from B2. That's the stuff that we were looking for from FS. Now this is what will give them all the information in the world. The 3 remaining players over here, Spike dropped outside of the Nebula, needs to be retrieved, and the backup has arrived. The lockdown will force them to go over outside the side and relinquish the Spike back in the hands of Salt Esports, but Dominic has no intentions of doing that. He's gonna die here, but he's gonna die trying, and he can do much more than that.
Wow! FS, what a beautiful round. What a thrifty. Dominic comes up clutch. He didn't care that he was gonna get detained. He still got those 2 kills. Amazing shots by him. And the courage he had to just go in for that. He knew that all he had was a sheriff, so he could afford to go in for that. If that did not happen, I really don't think that they would have won out this round. Hats could have been in a good position to probably find that backstab. Maybe he would have been able to deal with a little bit more on the back of that confidence. But Salt Esports gave away a round that clearly should have been theirs. Now FS have a boost of confidence.
Yeah, this boost of confidence definitely will also destroy Salt Esports' confidence. Imagine having 1 second left on the lockdown timer, and some dude just decides to randomly peek you with a sheriff and kill 2 people. If that kind of stuff happens to me, I will be devastated. But Salty Spots are trying to hedge their bets towards the A side way too often. Look at them once again try to creep up over there. But this time, FSESPORTS have 3 people prepared over here. And all those 3 people won't be able to do anything. The earthquake forces them all back. One person almost died. The recon dart providing so much value. But luckily, everyone's still alive. Just a little bit of HP damage exchanged. And the spike is down. Once again, a 5v5 retake.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they didn't really go to destroy that recon though. They let it click all 3 times, and now Cactus almost spots Stranger. Not gonna get the kill. Another crossfire set up under heaven, but this time it doesn't do the trick. It's gonna be Salt to still win these duels though. 2v2. Jivix pulls it back for his team. Stranger needs to stay alive as Hats comes in from the backstab. He's got a good position. Stranger holds his own. Gets 1 kill, and that's all up to B2. He's in a good position, but what he doesn't know is that Hats is right behind him, and he's gonna make him throw his hat to the ground as Salty Esports immediately respond back with a beautiful win.
This game is still going on toe-to-toe, A to A. I mean, how many times have we seen an A take? We've seen 6 rounds so far. Out of them, definitely 3 have been on A. 1 was towards C, where FS was able to shut it down, but that was just a little force by from the side of Salt Esports, so can't really expect them to win that much in a situation like that. But FS is starting to bleed money right now. Like, look at this, they have some Phantoms on Mangles, but the others are down to just Spectres.
A little bit of an economic crisis here. And B2 is still on half armor, and he actually has no creds whatsoever. Even if they win this one, he's not gonna have that much if he dies to reinvest. Salt feeling the waters yet again. They're not taking this fast at all. They want to be able to try and read how FS actually play, and they're getting a good read at it, at least so far in the first initial rounds, how they're gonna play on defense. They can try and translate that to a success maybe later on into the further half of this. But look at Cortez. Oh, he's gonna have information. Trick's been spotted out, and he's got no idea that
Didn't see him.
by. Oh, he's gonna get spotted out here more. And here comes B2, and now he's stuck in a pickle. Got players ahead of him, got players beside him, but he still does the trick. He comes up through, and he's called it out to his teammates as well that they might be coming in the backstab, and they've gone towards B Salt, and they're gonna get the plant down. As Cactus has no idea. That's Ranger behind him, but it doesn't matter. Dominic's there to cover him up. Beast gets the kill. 3 versus 2. The attackers still have the advantage, and look at Jivix. I love these flanks that these guys keep coming up with.
How many times are we gonna see one flanker counter-flanking the other one, but Dominic deals with it back to a 2v2. Beast does bring it back to some extent. The Aftershock doesn't allow Dominic to move into the site just yet, but he's got no more stars left.
I think they've done just enough.
No more time left either, and Dominic will be forced to fall back. What a interesting round from both these teams over here. You have Cortez and B2 both move in across the A lobby all the way towards the mid window, with Trick still in A long, and he didn't spot anyone. But when he was revealed, he managed to kill B2. Yeah, sure, Cortez was able to get past without any information being given out, but then somehow Jivix found a way to get behind them. So if Cortez has a backstab up his sleeve, then Jivix has something even better.
You know, it's the nerve that these guys have, that they expect that nobody's gonna be there. That's it. How do they even know that? And they go in for these flanks.
Just trust in your teammate and hope that they provide you the correct information. And sometimes they can be wrong. We saw it in this round. Mistakes can be made. But this time, there are no fakes, there are no backstab. It's a straight up entry into the C site as they brute force their way in. And they get in without any casualties. This has been happening way too often. 5v5 retakes. How many times are we gonna see stuff like this?
I have no clue, but again, a flank coming in from FS this time. Trying to play the game that Salt has been playing so far. Cactus needs to get this kill, but he does not. He gets tagged down to 64 HP. And now they're aware of this double man flank that's coming in. Ranger needs to find that kill, otherwise there's going to be a lot of trouble. Beast and Trick find success on the side though. Stranger takes out one. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, but I think it's utterly denied. It's no use, this Hunter's Fury, given that Salt have taken out almost every single player. And I feel like that ultimate has now been wasted for an opportunity that could be saved on for later. Oh, why did Kohli have to commit that when he knew that his players were falling apart?
Well, I feel like the Hunter's Fury needed to be a little well-timed. And everyone else from FS who was trying to move in from Garage and the Defender spawn entrance, they needed to capitalize on that Hunter's Fury a lot more, because the Hunter's Fury is not to clear out the areas in long. It's mostly to clear out the people in the site itself. And when those attackers are busy dodging the laser beam, that's when you move in, that's when you strike, when they're distracted.
Yeah, that's exactly the moment where you can find these players just jiggling about their positions and give away, you know, a bit of avenue for you to work with. But Salt did not let that happen because Kohli just put it out a little too late, and now they're going towards B again. 4 of them here, 1 of them holding the backstab, and Trick already spots out Kohli. They're gonna try and run to the side yet again, thanks to Trick, just jump and maneuver method, but he gets backhand. He gets backhanded. B2 from C-Link gets him. Beast will find Kohli. That's still a problem, as FS are getting pushed back and further on towards the A-Link. Cactus can't do anything. He's going in for the fight, and Hats, oh no, the timing. He's gonna let a backstab come in. He doesn't know that this Cortez is in the window, and this is gonna be a problem. Salt, you need to take care of this right now. B2, he's gonna get taken down. And Hats comes in at the right time. Oh my god, that was really scary. But Salt somehow take control of the situation. And Dominic's now been left alone in the 1v4. And they know where he is as well. He gave away that little bit of a sound cue. And they're going on a hunt. They don't want him to save this.
So many things went wrong for the side of Team Salt, but they still managed to win this one.
Yeah.
Dominic gets a consolation track, but that's about it. Or maybe more.
Second.
Either way, I really want to speak about all the mistakes that Salt made in this round, but somehow they still went unpunished. First of all, the smoke towards C-Link, not proper. The moment the Jet dashed in, B2 was able to shoot her down. And you see, Cactus, yeah, he probably didn't coordinate that well, but Kohli was blind as a bat. He should have been dead.
Yeah.
Trick should have been able to kill him, but B2 protected him. And that was great because nobody knew that B2 can see stuff from that tiny gap in the smoke. And then, of course, Cortez sneaking by. That would have been a disaster if anyone from the side of Salt Esports was playing towards the bottom of mid, but luckily nobody was. They were all in the site, and that's how Crisis is averted. Salt Esports, they have just dodged a bullet and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, they made mistakes, but they even covered them up almost instantaneously. Thanks to keeping up with their team coordination. Like you said, Kohli should have died there earlier on itself, but B2 covered him up. And then you could see Beast immediately got Kohli's kill after, which Trick couldn't finish off. And then they went on to push towards B-Link, they pushed towards C-Link, they got control, and they made sure that these players from FS were pushed back so that they have some space to get the plant coming in. And, you know, they don't have to worry about post-plant positions because they have that much space to work with by throwing in their flashes. So that was a good maneuver by Salt to try and gain some extra map control. Otherwise, they would have been pressured to not even get the plant down. So I like that one thing, but that still is a small cover-up for the number of mistakes that they made. That honestly, I think if it was any other team, I think if Velocity was playing at this point, they would have actually punished Salt Esports a very bad way for that.
Speaking of punishments, I don't think FS, even after they found a way to, find all these chinks in Salt's armor, they haven't found a way to punish Salt yet. Nothing that actually sticks, though. Sure, there will be some rounds where they are able to make things work, but every now and then, even after these opportunities are presented to them, FS don't grab them. Salt, on the other hand, they don't just wait for the opportunities to be handed to them. They make their own opportunities. They take the initiative. For example, take every time that Jivix went for a flank. He's been mostly successful. Now, whether or not he gets a kill or not, he's at least providing information to his team, and that's very essential. So that's something that's been happening for the side of Team Salt. For FS, I can't really say that, but honestly, more than punishing the mistakes of Salt, I think FS need to just stabilize themselves more. They need to focus on their own stuff rather than trying to counter their opponents. I mean, their economy has been in the dumpsters since forever. I don't even recall how many times I've seen them on Sheriffs and Frenzies. It's like every time they are able to win a buy round, they lose the next one immediately. And that shatters their economy even further into smaller pieces. Smaller pieces obviously means smaller weapons.
Yep. Now, we have a smaller tech boss coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Cactus has disconnected, unfortunately, but he will be back soon. But I just want to, focus on what Crips was telling, that they need to be careful. They need to find a way where they can actually catch the side of Salt off guard, FS, because like you said, Crips, they've not really been able to find a way where they can actually push in and pressure down Salt Esports as much as they would want to. It's just like they're going with the flow. They're trying to read what Salt is doing, and they're trying to move around, maneuver it, and that kind of works, yeah. But when you have a set defensive plan, or a retake strategy to clear out some corners, or make sure that you have I don't know, utility that helps you, get players out of their positions, the opponents, and so that you can have aim duels with them, that 2v1s could be working in your favor. You should be having such set plans in place, because given that most of these rounds that we've seen have been almost 5v5 retakes, where, FS are actually giving it away. They don't mind giving away their side and playing on the retake. It's worked out, I think, in one round for them, but after that, it's just been the Salt show. So, do you think that maybe they need, a solid plan as to how to go in for the retake, at least in the first few seconds, so that, they get utility usage on point, damage on the back of it, and have aim duels that they can actually afford to win, rather than, just falling out of heaven when it's up to A, or just, feeling out how you can send out a drone and see where the information is,
Yeah.
Maybe have a solid plan would work out a lot more for them.
And speaking of solid plans, Salt's plans have been working so far. Like, the moment they decide to burst into a site, FS just gives up. They don't even contest them. They let them have the site for free. No royalties charged, no rates exchanged, nothing. Just give up the site. We'll play retake, 5v5. But then in the retake as well, it's as good as assaulting a site, right? Now, yeah, the objective is different. You don't need to plant the spike. You need to defuse the spike. Sure, big deal. You still need to enter the site. You still need to breach your way in, even if you have a breach on your team or not. But in 5v5 situations like this, when you're about to burst into a site, that firepower of the initial first 3 frags that's required to steamroll over your opponent is just missing from FS. It's not missing from Salt Esports, though. Either way, whether FS can make a comeback in this game or not is something that we'll have to wait a little to find out, because unfortunately Cactus is having connectivity issues, and because of that we're having to pause the game. But as soon as Cactus is back, we'll be back with the game as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going for a short duration. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the game. So long we had to wait for the action to begin, but we are finally back. I'm running out of patience, and so are these guys. It's gonna be a straight up air rush to make up for all the dead time that we had so far. And Oli just whacking everybody with that Bucky. It's kind of like playing whack-a-mole, but everyone over here falling to the ground like flies, and everyone's almost dead too. Stranger does manage to burn one alive with that nanoswarm grenade, but he's been spotted. And he can spot another one right across the corner. Kohli forced to reposition, but the other person down on short gives away his position and his life too. Balls down to a 1v1. We've had what, like 2-3 minutes? No, mate. I think we got like 5 minutes of dead time, and now within 5 seconds, everyone's dead. Wow.
Yeah.
So these guys are like compensating for all the time that we've lost over here.
Yeah, they look like they are gonna make sure that we get through this a lot faster than we were supposed to, because, well, for obvious reasons, we had a unfortunate break come in. Now, look at the 200 IQ play Kohli's trying to make. He's gone all the way to C.
30 seconds left.
He's holding down his ground over there, and it looks like Stranger might be outplayed here, ladies and gentlemen. Kohli is really onto something, but he's only got a classic and a Bucky to work with, and he hears the sound, and Stranger could be out and done with this one. It's done and dusted. What a beautiful play by Kohli. Almost give away his life, to be honest, but...
No, he was just ducking constantly, just spamming crouch. And, you know, in video games, spamming crouch is like a sign of saying, trust me, bro. And you were right. We could trust him. There was no way that that Stranger would expect him to be in that corner. He just spotted him towards A. There's no way he can get to the C side faster than him.
But he did. He got away when Stranger was busy dealing with Cortez. Now Salts have lost around on the back of it. Here we go again. Another A push, by the way. All 5 players committed here. And you can see the rotations being called in almost instantaneously as Jivix clears up most of the side. Spots out a player. And FS are now yet again looking to play on a retake.
5v5 retake once again. We've seen this like a countless amount of times, but this time the only difference is Cortez has the run it back, which kind of makes him a little distraction. But he's been dealt with immediately. A lockdown put in place to delay the retake even further, and it's very deep inside, which means there's no way they can destroy it just yet. They're gonna have to wait all the way and then move in with very little time left. The aftershock is boil anyone away from heaven. Damages B2 quite a lot as they fall down.
Kohli?
It is a nanoswarm and a gravity well, which means as soon as they land, the landing won't stick. And all 3 of them are flashed. So many kills going in their favor. Dominic does get a couple, but those are only consolation frags, and there's nothing that Cactus can do without his teammates. It's like bread and butter. This ace side is literally their bread and butter. They use it every time they're in a fix. And almost every time it works.
Last round before the switch.
That... the one thing I really, was comical for me in that entire round was, first we saw that aftershock coming towards heaven, and then we saw the nanoswarm, but Kohli just went YOLO, jumped straight down. Like, he didn't care. The way he jumped down and he found another nanoswarm under him, another gravity well, and 2 players, it was funny for me. But yeah, Assault Esports, great execution. They straight up went in, they changed the pace like we have seen them to do before, and they got the A side pretty much effortlessly. With even though they lost 2 players, they're gonna be okay. And now yet again towards the A side, Quips. How many times? He finds one. Jivix adds on to that, and here comes a rolling thunder, and Cactus is gonna be affected by it, but he's good enough to be able to escape. He's gonna get away with his life, and now it's not gonna be 5v5, it's gonna be 5v3 retake, which is a lot more difficult.
Well, at least they've got the Cosmic Divide. Both the teams putting up theirs. No lockdown available on the defender side. Kind of means that the Cosmic Divide really can't do much. And it just works. Every time it works. Cactus somehow still gets that frag. I have no idea how, but hey, at least that was just a consolation frag.
I mean, Jivix can hear stuff, right? Or is he wearing his headphones the other way around? Because Cactus fired, I think, 4 or 5 bullets in his direction.
Switching sides.
He's still looking the other way. Jivix kind of had a moment of confusion there, but still, Salt Esports will come out on top. In the last 2 rounds, they changed up their pace, ran through it, they completely ran riot, and they found the 8th round for themselves. 8-4.5, where they've seemed pretty dominant, and now they go to the defense scripts, and this is going to be a lot more interesting because it's time for FS to show what they can do as the attacking team, because we know that they can be aggressive themselves, especially with Cactus at the helm. Not been having that great of a game on defense, but on the offense, he could maybe switch it up.
See how they switch it up though. Early fault line towards A short means that FS won't be able to take aggressive control of A lobby, allowing their players to move in a little closer. And as Salt tries to move in towards the A long area, the recon dart won't detect him. There's a nice double peek setup available, which means Trick, even if he died, there is the sky still to back him up. Easy man advantage, Salt take it, and they fall back to safety.
Perfect strategy. Man advantage is all they need right now, and they're gonna get it. They're still peeking towards that A-long position, and E-short's covered up. The only place that's gonna be attacked right now, it looks like it's gonna be B, and it's only Beast to cover it up. He spots out one. Immediate fault line goes in. Concusses one, but they've taken control of this FS. They're gonna have no problem at all. The aftershock comes in as well. Hatch comes in through. He finds a kill. Cortez and Coley will trade back, and Salt are falling apart. What the hell just happened?
How did everyone just die?
I have no idea.
That's what this entire match has been like. Chilling, setting up, chilling, waiting. Action. And everyone's just dead. Like, it's just 30 seconds of waiting and then 3 seconds of pure carnage, death, and even the Grim Reaper will be like, guys, please chill out. I can only collect so many souls at one time.
I really don't. I mean, Salt, I think they did not even want the plant to go down. I think they wanted to deny the plant, and that's exactly why we saw them rush in through the smokes. Reckless decision. Got paid. Now they're gonna have to play on the eco. They still have rounds advantage, but that still doesn't count to them winning this one. Because on an eco, there's only so much they can do. Salt! I mean, Trick almost went in for that. Oh, Jivix undetected, but he still goes down. That is so unfortunate. The burst classic, not always reliable.
One enemy remaining.
The backstab has been cleaned up by Dominic as well. Lakhs put up another pretty easily. Flawless round comes in as the eco for Salt has been completely denied. And here's where the real test starts.
Yeah, they managed to win the pistol and the subsequent round. Salt Esports now have enough money to put up Phantoms and Vandals on the board. And FS need to win this one. If they do, they will have successfully broken the Camel's back and they will have overthrown Salt's economy. But at the same time, this is a bonus round for them. And if they win this round, it means they have an opportunity not just to make it 8-7, but they have an opportunity to go for 8-8.
Placing.
See if this bonus round works out for them or not. Come on, let's go! Run back to hit it. FS really want to make this one work. And Salt, they already fall. Stranger, no more denying for him. Hats is also in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have any backup over here. At least the flash is dodged, but there's way too many footsteps. He gets the Nebula up so that he can buy himself some more room to work around. And Jivix is directly above him on top of Lakhs, but B2 is finding everyone else. At the moment this Nebula fades, everyone's gonna be a dead man. Stylish frags from Jivix, but they are nothing but consolation frags. And FS have successfully turned this bonus round and upgraded their weapons too. And now they have a chance to make it 8-8.
It's more of a customary decision than chance, I believe, at this point, because we're just gonna have to see FS have much better weapons than Salt, and Salt, they're ecoing this for a good reason as well, because if they choose to force into this, it's just gonna throw them in much more of a mix. And FS pretty much confirming level scorelines at this point, given that Salt don't really pull off a thrifty like FS did in their defense.
Blocking vision.
Gonna have to wait and see though. Cats spamming down bullets through that smoke. Could find one, but Beast has already got up some ground. Cactus is He's not gonna let it happen, but oh no, he gets the reload coming in, and Hatch makes him pay for it. Down to 5 HP he goes. 4v4 established, but still a long way away. Beach,
What a
1,
bait.
2. He's making it work. Okay, a third not gonna happen. Beach is a little too quick for that.
That was lovely.
exactly.
You have the Sky falling back from mid, loudly giving away footsteps, which kind of make FS think that the window area is clear and they want to
Yep.
kill the Sky before she gets back into cover on the B side. But no, the breach is right there. That's the perfect bait and switch setup.
Blocking sight.
Oh, 2 versus 3. Coley's already made his way towards the A side, and he has a spike as well. And he's holding on for some rotations to come in. Teammate's going to be joining him in a couple of seconds now. But they're still aware of the fact that anybody from the side of Fall could be here. And they actually are going to let the A side get away. That's exactly why you
30
can
seconds
see
left.
that Hatch is holding down a really, really passive angle towards B. And as soon as they hear this spike go down, it's going to come in. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult retake. They do have a weapon, but just the one actually. Jivix passes it on to Hat. Now they're going in for this.
Yeah, makes sense. That's what the healthier player over here, but Trick's been taken care of. FS are making this one work for
enemy
now.
remaining.
B2, good. Switching around. One from the box, one from the short area. Playing on contact and swing respectively. That's how they hold off this entire assault. Jivix with barely 3 HP, what can you do? You know, in situations like this, you really wish the Sky could heal herself, but at this point, FS, they are bargaining for more than just a tie. They want to go for even further. And they've built up a decent amount of economy too. They had multiple players surviving in the last 2-3 rounds. They managed to save their weapons, at least 2 minimum in one particular round, sometimes even 3. And that's why you can see people like Kohli, Cactus, B2, all of them have somewhere around 5,000 bucks. This will give them quite a lot of advantages later on in the game. It should be great. Even if Salt win this round, FS can make a comeback into the next round very easily. But if Salt lose this round, well, then I don't know what to say. At that time, FS would have overtaken them, and that's just way too much.
Coley is reading out the waters towards B. Beast, I don't think has been spotted out, but they know that he's here. Now they know exactly where these bullets came from. Beast actually ate a couple of them. Almost would have been sprayed out over there. But FS still find the B side effortlessly at almost. Ranger. To be careful, Cactus finds the perfect timing on him. Hats will find B2. But there's trades going back and forth. The pinstripe kill feed coming up right now. Red, green, but still in favor of red right now. That is the side of FS as they give away, abandon the side of B to go to A. What they don't know is that Trick is already onto their tracks and is coming on the backside from A short. This could be a problem. Heaven is taken by Kohli, and I think they should be expecting this. Hats should be expecting this. And Cactus is around the lobby as well towards A-Link, and he's just gonna make easy work of that. Oh no, Trick's been hurt, but he still gets a kill. He's looking for more. One under Heaven, one above, but he's not gonna expect the one above. And it's gonna be that one player who rains down from above. Take him down. It's gonna be 9-8, and FS take the lead in this game.
What an amazing half so far. 5 rounds in the second half, and FS won each and every single one of them. Sometimes with 3 players alive, 2 players, and this time with just 1 player remaining. But no matter what the case, winning 5 rounds in a row means that Salt are now on max loss bonus, which means they will have enough money to buy weapons and armor every round, but they will be lacking something or the other. Sometimes it'll be utility, sometimes it'll be heavy armor. Trick has absolutely nothing. He's gonna be playing on his Blade Storm and just a pistol. But they've got 4 ultimates ready, and this could be a game changer. Stranger is 1 point away from getting his lockdown. Now, we know that the lockdown plus Cosmic Divide combination can be amazing, and I'm pretty sure that Salt will use that, but we keep on forgetting that the Earthquake from Breach is also really effective in clearing out these areas. So whether they want to hold off an assault or whether they want to go for a retake, I think Salt are just gonna go full in, commit every ultimate that they can to win this round. And they need to win rounds. They had a massive lead, but now they are the ones who are trailing.
They certainly are. Cactus yet again towards B. Love that FS are constantly attacking this, and they're finding that one point where they can't punish Salt, and I think that's the B side, but Beast finds a beautiful angle, and Trick actually finds another. The plant's gonna go down, and there comes the Rolling Thunder, and Cortez can throw in whatever utility he wants, but Trick's gonna still find him. Amazing work by Soldier, but Dominic's got 3 of his own. He could have got more if that flash hadn't come in, then that would have been a lot more difficult for Salt. But they're made to pay, Salt. 3 players down, that's gonna hurt their economy for sure, because they really haven't had a round victory come in so far. So they're gonna have to reinvest, and look at that, there's a Spectre on Trick. And it's probably gonna be half armor for Jivix to play on this round. But FS have definitely done a little bit of damage, and that's gonna show in this round.
I'm still surprised how he was able to get that triple kill in the end over there.
Yeah,
What I
me
like
too.
even more is that Cortez was able to put down the hot hands before the ultimate hit him. He knew that there's no way he can toss the ultimate. There's no way he can toss the Rolling Thunder. So if he can at least burn one area and stop the players of Salt from coming in from that direction, that would be great. Now Salt, they completely ignore the hot hands. They just run right through it, they tank the damage a little bit, and that's how they're able to get all the kills. But imagine if that did not happen. Imagine if they stopped. Then the players coming in from A-Link would be the only... the players coming in from C-Link would be the only ones to fight. And there is not that great of a chance that they'll win.
Salt. Again, they're holding up Garage pretty heavily, and they've left only Beast on B yet again, which again is a point of attraction. As Beast is going to be spotted out here. Unless Cortez goes in the wrong direction. Not find anybody on the side, so that's gonna clear up the side for them. Thankfully, Trick almost getting the kill over here, but Cactus somehow escapes. No, he doesn't. He's gonna go down. The A side's being rotated towards now, as FS found 2 kills there, and they might have just opened this, but Jivix is still here to hold it down. There's nothing he can do.
Left.
B2 expecting that perfectly, and FS are playing this patience game to perfection.
FS with a great fake to commit the run and back towards the B site, and then everyone else moves towards A. There was no way Salt would have been able to figure this one out, but maybe Stranger can. He's got the lockdown available. One of them is low. Coley has been spotted. He knows where Dominic is, just needs to find the third person. And common sense would suggest that he's holding the crossfire on the other side, but the problem is, the moment Stifer gets fired upon, everyone else will peek. They don't peek! They give him a 1v1! And then peek individually!
No!
Out! FS, what a big mistake!
Why would you do that, FS? Oh
They were
no.
supposed to swing. They were supposed to swing the moment B2 died. Both at the same time, but you give him 1v1 fights, especially when the last player, Coley, is low on health. And you have a clutch on your hand, ladies and gentlemen. And the best part is he did not even need to use his lockdown. FS, hey, I hate to say this, and I almost never use this word, but I'm going to say it, Universe. I'm going to say the T word. This was a throw. This was a big throw.
The T word has been summoned, ladies and gentlemen, and by Crips as well, so you gotta know it's serious. Because that indeed was a throw. I genuinely don't understand why those 1v1s were given away. Salt, well, they will obviously take it. Stranger particularly has been a pretty good holding ground for his team so far. Yet again, he needs to prove his mettle towards Garage, unless FS again towards B. This time, I don't know if they're gonna sell a fake, but Cactus is not gonna fake out this kill. He's gonna get it pretty easy. Has lost a couple of bits of his health, but that's still okay. Picks up a weapon, has got control of an entire site all by himself. You know where he is. He's gonna be spotted out. It's still okay. B2 finds one. Ash goes down, and look at this. Wow, Coley expected it perfectly, and Salt, their Garage defense has been blown to bits with almost seeing nobody in front of them.
Yeah, they basically sent their Jet Cactus as a sacrificial lamb towards the B side so that everyone will be focusing on him. And so many utilities were wasted just to boil Cactus out of position. And that left Garage basically defenseless. That's why FS have the C side right now. But I hope they don't end up giving 1v1 fights to Jivix. This could have very easily gone down the wrong road. Cortez was alone on the C side. B2 was nowhere close to him. And this would have again been a repeat of the same round that Stranger was able to clutch.
Yeah, it could have been the same. Unfortunately, For Salt, any mistakes were not made. 1v1 duels were won this time. It's gonna be 10 to 10. We're going toe to toe on a map that I really expected Salt to put on much more of a dominating performance. Maybe at least, like, you know, I expected the half to go after the 8 to 4. I thought it was gonna be 10 to 6, maybe 11 to 6 at this point, but I love that FS are doing this great job of pulling things into their favor on the attack. Haven, an attack-sided map, definitely showing off its true nature by the hands of FS. Now that Salt are on an eco, this could be for them to take the lead and possibly match point even.
I don't know, man. The way this match has been going, I wouldn't even be surprised if this goes into like a triple overtime or something. I hope it doesn't, because then our throats would be sore, but hey, for the sake of entertainment, anything. Salt Esports. What are they gonna do this time? They stack B. Whereas FS are heading towards the A site.
Oh yeah, open A side available for them. No defense, absolutely nothing here. They're going for the retake. No! Rescue running straight in! Yeah, that's gonna be it. 4 players fall like it's pretty much dominoes at this point. And Jivix, he has no idea what to do, so he just sits with that tripwire for a bit, talks to it saying, you know, my death's coming, but I'm just gonna chill with you here. Now down to 43 HP. He can do nothing but just hold on until he finds 2 bullets coming into his body or 1 into his head.
Or maybe he can one-tap everyone. Oh my god, oh my goodness, Kohli. Fancy footwork won't save him, but now the bullet's out. I just hope they don't go to knife him, but Cortez does save him the humiliation. Either way, eco rounds out of the way. Salt, they can get back on the board with the weapons. And FS, they really, really need to make sure they don't make any more mistakes right now. Not at this point in the game. They did not have that great of a first half, but their second half has been absolutely amazing. They were able to win 5 rounds in a row. The 2 rounds that they did concede, one of them we won't speak of ever again. But the other one, it was a fairly contested round. So FS attack side does look pretty formidable. And if they don't make any mistakes, then Salt will not be able to come back into this. But there is an op in the hands of Jivix, and maybe he can make this one work. But Cactus surprises him with that peek.
Gun here.
And the operator is dealt with.
Oh no, Jivix. What have
Jet.
you done? Assault. They trade back though. Cactus is all alone there, so there's gonna be no counter trade potential. Stranger here just sprayed down to the smoke. He gives out 1 of his own bullets. Unfortunately, he eats 100 back. Only 1 of it is good enough for him to go in his head, and that's all FS needed.
Yeah.
4 versus 3.
Yeah, and once they have the man advantage, they can do basically anything. Salt Esports, look at how spread out they are. They've got just the breach outside of garage. They've got the not the Phoenix. The Astra in the form of hats on C. They've got Trick holding solo on A. No trading potential whatsoever. If these guys get rushed by 4 FS players at the same time, there is absolutely no way in hell they will survive this one. And then on top of that, you've got Cortez run it back too. Yeah, sure, go ahead, Ads. Kill him. We dare you. We double dare you to kill him. But
he won't.
Only has the body. The backup arrives from Beast, and now B2 is dead. The fault line, it connects. 1 more stun. Dominic needs to make sure that he's able to deliver, and he's placed all 3 of them down. 1 fell swoop, and that's the advantage that FS needed. It went out of their hands for a moment, Universe. I did think that it's starting to slip away from them the moment that Breach was able to come in and kill B2. But Dominic, this man,
What a guy.
protects his family.
Dominic, a name that I had not heard before, but now I'm going to be looking up to. He has been a really important player, at least on this first map. 19 kills on him. 12 assists even. He's been the driving force for his team in terms of both utility usage and frags. FS, match point. They've thrown Salt into a mix where they're 4 spot into this. And they have nothing more to do except for just hope that FS make a mistake, make some sort of fall, give away another 1v1 duel that's going to just allow them to win this one out. And now, it's just a couple of it's just a couple of Spectres, an Armorless Vandal, a Bulldog, maybe whatever Trick's gonna buy, another Spectre at the most. Fortunately, Trick has disconnected, so we're gonna have a little bit of a tech issue that's come in.
Fortunately?
Unfortunately.
Okay, my ears must be ringing.
Unfortunately. Come on, why would I ever say that a disconnect is fortunate?
I don't know, maybe because you want to break or something?
No, I want to keep this going. I want this to get done. I want to see who's gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I don't think I have any patience anymore, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if this goes on for any longer, we probably might have to go away for a little bit again until Trick reconnects. It's funny how at one point FS were having internet issues, and then Salt started to have power issues, and then both the teams started to have these issues at the same time, and then I was just sitting here like, how do I deal with these? I have issues too, but they don't get in my way of work.
I mean, yeah, they're fair. I guess I don't think that where we're living. I mean, as what we know as casters, we have to always have a backup, and I think the players always do too. But sometimes the backup also doesn't really give as much dividends as we would want it to. I mean, we live in a world, right? We live in a society. We live in a society.
Like, I've got 3 backup power connections. I've got my
Damn.
power, I've got the UPS, and I've got an inverter.
Damn.
I've got...
Are you serious?
Yeah! I mean, you're welcome to come visit me anytime. Unfortunately, I only have 1 internet connection over here, like, right now in the place that I'm in. But back at home, I have 2 internet connections. No power backup, because that's in Mumbai. Mumbai doesn't really have a lot of power issues in the first place, so that's okay.
Yeah, but 3 power backups is crazy.
I know,
Crazy.
right? I know, it's a little bit
I
of a
have 1, and that lasts for like
Right there.
5 minutes. And even that's lasts for 2.5 actually.
Yeah, I mean, even my UPS lasts for like, what, 5-10 minutes max. It's
And
just enough to cover the buffer in between the main power and
We're actually, wow, now we're solving the problems, Crips. Everything. I think we might as well do a stream about how to solve electricity problems. Find 3 backups, not 2. Hell, go for 5 if you want.
How do you solve problems? Just freaking throw more money at it.
I mean, that's the name of the game right now, because economy clearly is the thing right now. Throw money, you have weapons, and if you don't have money, you're gonna be where Assault Esports is right now. They're in a really dire situation. Trick has pulled out his knives, and so we are back in the game, and he's gonna have to try and pull out at least 2 kills over here to let his team have an advantage. And what if it works? Second one, looking to come in. No, he's gonna dash away to safety somehow. He gets away, and he's gonna get healed as well. Man advantage secured for the defense, but it's still a lot of work to be done. RF is gonna be able to pull this one.
Dude, I have no idea. How is he allowed to get away with murder like that? And Jivix might die too. Oh my god, that could have been disastrous. The gravity gun and the flash combination should have allowed the players of FS to move right inside and murder him, but the fault line stops them. It's a battle of utility right now. Both the teams trying to one-up each other by providing backup to the players who are in trouble. But speaking of utility, take a look at the amount of ultimates available on Team Salt. They've got 3. The Lockdown Cosmic Divide combination still available, which means the retakes can be easy. Beast 1 point away from Rolling Thunder. Jivix has the Seekers available as well, so in case FS try to go for some big brain moves, the Seekers will spot them out. There's everything working in the favor of Team Salt, except the weapon. That's the only thing they don't have. But now they've got the man advantage and the time as well, so everything is kind of working out for them. FS trying to go for a Hail Mary plant, and the plant won't be denied, but now let's see if they can hold on to this one. They can't afford to go outside. FS Cortez, he realizes that the Cosmic Divide, which means the footsteps won't be heard, and he moves all the way into the spawn, and nobody knows him. They find him, unfortunately. He can't get to cover. It's Cactus in a 1v5. The angle still available for him, but no more dashes, no more flashes, and no more life as well.
Called find a way.
Ace.
Yeah, and they find such an ingenious way too. They just keep their players alive. They get away with murder. Twice.
I mean, somehow they pull it back. That first kill, I think, from trick was what did the trick actually, because he got away with it. If he had not,
To the above.
if they had killed Trick right there, I think the A side would have been blown up and it would have been a whole different story. But they somehow did.
Placing swarm grenade.
We've got another last touch in the round over here. Last round, 24th round. And it's up to Salt to try and take us to overtime. And it's up to FS to try and finish out this match in a 13-11 fashion. Cactus has got the operator this time. I don't think he's been spotted out here. Trick will fire a couple of bullets, but he gets away. Cactus is just holding down his ground as the rest of his team is feeling out towards Garage and B. Holding even C push.
Swarm grenade
Yeah,
out.
and at this point, FS trying to throw a base out of Team Salt's boat. They try to boil as much time as possible. They look for picks everywhere in the map, but if they don't get it, they will just commit to one of these sites in the last moment. I just hope they don't commit towards the B side. It's been fairly unsuccessful for them. But if they do get the spike plant, they have the Hunter's Fury available on goalie, which means he can deny the defuse to some extent. They just need one frag, and then B2 can take his hat off. Will they find it? There's very little trading potential available for Trick over here. He doesn't even have the operator.
30 seconds
Hides inside
left.
the nebula. Good stuff. At least he decides not to fight them. Nobody from Hunter's Fury will be found, and almost everyone is safe. So this will be a 5v5 retake. And we've seen this a lot of times in the first half, but this is probably the first time that Salt are going to be the ones to go for the retake like this. And look at the amount of retake focused abilities they have. They have the Rolling Thunder. Once everyone in the side gets stunned, everyone will be divided too. And everyone hiding inside short and long won't be able to do
my
much.
God, this is
the players
beautiful.
inside are basically
Dominic,
dead meat.
how?
But I don't know. Dominic was supposed to be dead meat. He was stunned and he was caught by the well. How does he survive? Cortez somehow walks out. Captain is also able to get all these kills, and it's working. Trick has very little time left.
This is nothing.
It's gonna go down, but it doesn't matter. Coley comes through,
Attackers win.
and it's gonna be FSESPORTS to pull out map number 1 from the hands of Salt Esports. Their home map completely dismantled and stolen away from their hands. And what looked like an almost perfect execution towards the C site as a retake was completely destroyed. They had the Seekers, they had the Rolling Thunder, they had the Cosmic Divide, a beautiful combination of ultimates. But they still came not on top. It was just, I don't know how that happened, but Dominic...
Exactly, that
Dominic is... So he was blinded by Sky Seekers. He was pulled into the gravity wall. He was vulnerable. He still got a kill and then went down.
Yeah, and forget the Rolling Thunder too. Everything. The Gravity Well, the Seekers, and the Rolling Thunder. 3 abilities on him, but he still gets a frag. I don't know, man. Let's just look at the highlights, because that kind of stuff, you can't explain. You can just see it.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I don't even know how this guy got away with there were so many kills that I think he got that he was not supposed to get.
Yeah.
But he still got.
And not just in that round. Not just in that round.
Yeah.
The entire game.
Yeah, that 3-man spray down that I remember he got when they were coming for the retake, earlier in the defensive half. And it was just crazy the way this guy has been maneuvering around his first match with this team in the Tec Gauntlet. And he's made a mark for sure. A player that we really need to look out for as a controller player. He's got so much, skill that he uses, not just with his abilities, with also his aim. He's had some godly plays come in. A few questionable ones did come in when they let go of that 1v1s to Stranger. But hey, some mistakes can be forgiven when he makes up for it in this way. And FS, what a beautiful comeback by them, dude. Crazy. What a play. 8-4 down. I really thought Salt were going to take this, but I love that they pulled this one around back into their bag.
So many crazy plays by Dominic. Like, you just saw him try to kill 2 people with the Sheriff, and he was successful too, just a second before he got detained by the lockdown. Like, that's illegal. Nobody would have expected you to get rushed with the Sheriff that late in the divide. Like, he knew this was a suicide mission and he was completely okay with it, but he got away with murder. there were some mistakes that Salt Esports made, but somehow FS were not able to punish all of those. That's why after this 3-3 scoreline, Salt Esports would be able to get to 6-3. But then somehow FS stabilize. And a lot of these mistakes happen either because of timing or sometimes because of luck. One player sneaks past the other without noticing, and information is not relayed across the board. That's how FS, they found advantages in some situations, but not always were they able to capitalize on those advantages and convert them into a round win. Like, take for example this one. Two people hiding inside Cubby, only one can fall back. But this is the bait and switch. The moment Cactus dies, nobody will expect Kohli to be there as well. So these moments, these are the kind of moments that FS seem like they know what they're doing. And the bait and switch setups, the deliberate mistakes that they made just to throw their opponents off guard, they seemed calculated. But then the other few times when, especially in that last round, when stuff like that happened, when they had everything working against them, the rolling thunder 2, the cosmic divide, and it's not just Dominic. It takes a lot of guts to peek through the cosmic divide without having any footsteps or anything to base your information out of. You just dry peek and hope you don't die. Hope there's nobody looking in your direction. For something like that to happen, you require a lot of game sense and big balls of steel, but somehow they found both of them, and FS are able to take away Salt's home turf map.
Yeah, they most certainly did, Crips, and this is going to be a bit of a hit to them. Their first map and their first step in TC Gauntlet has been a loss, Salt Esports, and they're going to have to take a step back now, try and assess what went wrong, how exactly their retakes didn't work out, because Ascent is coming up, and it's going to be a different case, because FS looked like they might be more confident with Ascent than they were with Haven, and they won out Haven. So you never know. Could it be the opponent takes the home pick? That could happen, and we see map number 3 Icebox come in. But if the way FS are playing in the second half of this game, they continue to do it, they might as well take Ascent much easier than they did on Haven. So we're going to take a short little break, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be coming back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. FS have beaten Salt Esports at their home turf. Are they going to take their own? It's a question that we're going to be answering in just a bit. You are watching the LG Ultragear presents TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial. We're going to be back after a short break.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
Welcome
guys.
back, ladies and okay, we kind of messed it up, but welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was taking it, Cribs thought he was taking it, but who's gonna be taking it is a question not for the both of us. It's actually for FS or Salt, as we are back with the TC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial. Short break. Really short break indeed, because we had a lot of delays early on, so we need to speed up things a little bit more to see how exactly it's going to end out. And with FS taking up the map number 1 of the pick of Salt, we're going to see Ascent come into play here. And Crips, as we move to the agent selection screen, I just want to know what you are thinking.
I think we will have something similar going up for Team Salt. A Sky and Breach is definitely a lot more viable on a map like Ascent than it is on a map like Haven, but I don't see them doing that right now. In fact, they're going for a more standardized approach of the Jet, Killjoy, Astra, and Sova. Okay, not too bad. I mean, this is probably what you would expect in a game of Ascent. Jivix can pick up basically anything, even if he picks up the Sky or the Phoenix or the Reyna, doesn't matter what he does. B2, on the other hand, he is going for the Reyna. Instead, Cortez has insta-locked the Jet. Last time Cortez was playing Phoenix. And Cactus, the Jetman, has gone for Sentinel Killjoy this time around. Alright, so massive switch-ups from the side of Team FS.
Yeah, I've seen Cactus play the Killjoy before on Ascent. It's something that they usually do. Back when they had other players in the roster, you know, they were trying to switch it up, and Cactus usually ends up playing the Killjoy because he's somehow a lot more comfortable playing this agent, where they let him lurk, they let him be alone even on attack, they let him be alone towards the B side.
Agent.
He just, you know, holds down the ground over there. And yeah, he's pretty good at it, as we've got, okay, a raise. No flashers for the side of Salt. Could be a bit of a tricky situation, but they've got explosivity, so could compensate for it. You know, the grenade kills are always there. A flash can't kill you, but a grenade definitely can. And Reyna on the other side, so there is going to be an agent difference over here in terms of duelists at least, but the rest of the four are going to remain the same. It's going to be a Sova, it's going to be an Astra, it's going to be a Jet that we're going to be seeing on the server. And now, Quips, I just want to know, what do you think is more potent? Do you think we need a flasher in Ascent, or do we need an explosive agent in Ascent?
I think the mobility agents are more important for a team like Salt. Consider their playstyle in Haven. They used to just sneak up to a site, just walk, shift, hold as much as they can. And the moment they're about to move into the site, they just burst right in. They throw in all their utility, all their flashes and everything. And then they just invade the site.
Calling my bot.
So that kind of stuff is more doable on the attacking side when there is a Jet and a Raze, because they can both cover ground very easily.
Not ready.
So you walk up to one particular place and then both of them just fly in.
Ahead.
That kind of stuff, if that kind of stuff is something that Salt is going for, then I think it's possible for them to win. FS, on the other hand, they're taking their sweet time to take some hit control.
Ranger, he's checking out for that, jumping about his spawn right now. B main though, gonna be attracting a couple of bullets from either side. There is a double setup on B main. They're right at the door of it. They don't want to let them even come into this B holds. As Jivix is gonna throw down his boom, but that might just catch out B2. It will. They're gonna know that somebody's here, but this is actually a fake. They're taking up towards mid, and they might split it towards A if need be. You can see the spike going towards there as well. Cortez is already here waiting for it, and it's up to Hats to try and get this information, and he will. He spots out one, gets away to safety, goes to the site. But there's a really weird positional exchange between these two teams, as FS are swarming towards Garden and A short, and here come the forces.
Spike down A.
They force Beast down into the side where Cactus and B2 will be able to make short work of them. Cortez wraps around on the other side, but the flanker in the form of Cactus has been dealt with. No problem. The two attackers are on the side and they can go for the spike plant. Yeah, sure, it would have been really nice to have one lurker, but given the amount of HP advantage that FS have, I don't think they'll be too mad about this. No mobility available on either of these agents. No satchels, no dash, so they're gonna have to drop down. And the crossfire between Cortez and B2 can be very potent over here, but B2 must peek the moment Cortez has a little bit of a disadvantage. And they do peek at the same time, but there's one on top. The Cloud Burst helped them out a little bit, but after that, it just basically ended up working against them.
Oh, that could have gone a little bit awry. Salt, they did get the first initial couple of frags, but FS, they pushed on through because they came in from 3 different directions. And there was nothing that the players of Salt could do. They had to get, you know, just cornered in, killed out. That's all that happened. FS have a lead in the pistol. And they've actually brought in a Vandal in this round. Okay, that's a little dangerous, given if they could drop it. It's going to be a problem for them. And B2 is actually going for the first engagement. Wins it out pretty easy. He's going to heal himself. This Hat is going to spot this out, but he's been spotted out himself. Oh my god, okay. But this time, he's definitely going to be taken out. Stranger comes in from heaven, finds a head. It's going to be Cole's. That's going to be 1 casualty on the side of FS, as the plan is going to go down. And this retake, yeah, I don't see it happening in a million years.
Spike planted.
Yeah, maybe if the shot class would have been able to get a kill, that would be nice. They were landing in the proper spot where the spike was supposed to be planted, but they go for it in a different location instead, planting it directly outside the green box. 4 versus 3, barely any weapons on TEAMXO, but this is probably going to be a throwaway round. But Trick dashes in while his teammates are busy dealing and distracting the other people. He does get 1 kill, but Cortez deals with them almost immediately. And now there's not much that TEAMXO can do. But that was still a pretty cool trick by the man himself. You dash in while their enemies are distracting your... while your teammates are distracting the enemies. So that was decent enough. And if he's able to get an exit frag, then that will be great. Because then he can get
what?
in the same round.
Cortez jumping around because he did not want to give the kill away to TEAMXO. An ultimate orb that would have gone his way to get the showstopper online a lot more earlier, but how did TEAMXO miss?
Yeah, I mean, they were never supposed to connect their shots in the first place, especially not against a Vandal.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. That is true. But they've done a little bit of damage, not too much. 2 kills are good enough. 3, actually. One of them tied to the spike, so FS are going to be forced to reinvest into this. 3 Spectre is still on board, so it's still a bonus for them. As they move in towards A yet again, and B2 is on the ledge. And this time he needs to be careful. Oh, look at that. Oh, they okay! FS, they just spray down simply and get absolutely everything. Above and beyond.
Really well spoken over there. Did Dominic just get revealed?
I think so, yeah.
How? What even revealed him? Like, how did they even spot him?
I have no idea, but right now, you can have a look at this. It is the side of FS that are being forced to get into this A side with the ultimate. No, they're actually turning away. They just want to give a fake, and you can see, look at the confusion in the players of Salt. They're just moving around their own spawn. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. Beast and Stranger are just feeling the waters at this point, trying to cover up 3 different avenues that they might be exposed from, and it's gonna be B.
So if FS don't know what they're doing, how do you expect Salt Esports to know what they're doing?
I mean, fair enough.
They do move into the B side eventually. B2 holding the mid area. They'll be able to do the Odin leader, but not before Cortez loses his life. Still, 1v3 should be a doable situation for him. B2, please don't peek all by yourself. You'll just end up negating the man advantage even further.
Not again, please.
But this
not
time,
again.
This time the crossfire is decent enough. Hats will not check that angle and fully will spray him down. But even if Hats did check it, I think the Killjoy would have swung wide and Cactus would have been able to get him.
If that would have been another 1v3 that I think they would have won, Salt, I really think FS should, you know, just think about their life choices at this point. You know, like B2 left all alone towards mid. It could have been a 1v1 if, you know, Hats would have just checked down that copy corner. I mean, still works out though. 3-0. We are going in for another eco for Assault Esports. And they're losing their grip early on in this map, Crips, and that's not a good thing. This is gonna definitely be 4-0, if not anything. If there is a Thrifty that comes out, then it's gonna be crazy, but customary should be 4-0.
So far, it does look like it will be a 4-0, considering the amount of weapon advantage that FS have right now. Move into the S side. Jivix is getting spammed through with the shock darts and the bullets, barely surviving, hemorrhaging internally. Stranger also just loses all his armor, but Cortez is going above and beyond. Now, see, this kind of over-aggression might just end up costing FS their lives, and that's exactly what happens.
Oh, what?
Oh
no,
my
I
god!
see
I
that.
had to you, sir. Had
Still.
is so good, and he continues to dominate. B2 is able to finally deal with him, but he falls back. A 2v2. They do have utility to deny the plot, but Salt make it work.
Don't interrupt my work.
No.
Thrifty.
No. Jivix is looking at his fallen teammate, the fallen hero. That's how the hell he got a 3K there. I will never know. What the hell was even that, dude? How did that even happen?
And it's so unfortunate that we got to see it from the people who died from their perspective. I could have loved Hat's perspective in that situation, but you can't even blame them, right? I mean, a Vandal versus a Desert Eel, or a Sheriff rather, which one would you expect to win?
I have no idea, but right now, Trick, he gets a kill, perfect kill, gonna dash away. Cortez almost caught out there, dashes away to his own safety. There is a really dirty fight taking place towards mid. For now, it is Salt on top of things as they pull out the man advantage in their favor. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, actually. Okay, they go right for it. FS. Oh, he's not gonna find success, but he will tag down Trick. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. They're gonna try to spam him down. Down to 22 HP he goes, and he's gonna have to be playing a lot more carefully than he can be aggressive as he was earlier in this round. Now we're up to.
No healers available on his team either, so he's gonna have to just hope that no single bullet connects onto him. But for now, he's still holding mid, and he hasn't spotted anyone else towards mid, which means that there is a good chance that these guys will be able to take the round. B2 haven't been spotted yet. Although I do think that there is a little
30
bit
seconds
of a
left.
tech issue. Did Hats just stop moving all of a sudden? Nope, he's still here.
Oh, no, he's ready. He's ready.
He's still moving, yeah. For a second I thought he was AFK or something. Maybe that power issue came back, but Beast will be able to deal with Dominic, and FS are falling like flies. There's barely any time left. They need to make a move now. And there's nowhere they can go.
left.
They're not doing it. They're just gonna save. Call's been made. It's done. What? I don't know what even happened. Why are they taking so much time all of a sudden? They're losing out rounds like it's nothing at this point. 2 rounds given away. Jivix comes out for a compensation kill to try and attack their economy, but it's not gonna work. Tucks himself up over there, Cortez, and he's gonna just let it slide. 2 to 3 now. They still have weapons to work with. Not a lot of armor. One player is, just gone down to a Spectre at this point. That's Cactus. So FS suddenly fell apart. Like, I don't even know what happened. Within 2 rounds, they've just gone down a level somehow, it looks like, isn't it?
Multiple levels, honestly. And Salt want to keep them there. Look at the amount of weaponry they have. They've got the Odin, they've got the Operator, Trick holding down B entrance with that op. Odin in the hands of Stranger, moving towards mid. And this time they've got a lot more utility on mid too. They've got the Astra Stars, the Alarm Bot, and the Nano Swarm. Salt had never put this much utility on mid before. And then there's Jivix, who can obviously throw down nades if anyone decides to come across. A heavy defense on mid kind of means that Salt, they can continue to put their players on the sites itself, while they can just use the utility to cover mid. This is gonna force FS to move in towards a shot, and Holy gets the opening frag. That's exactly what they needed. Cortez moves in, but not fast enough to get Jivix. Dominance does trade him out, and the frags go back and forth. They do have the man advantage, but FS need to be able to fall back into good post-man positions and not get revealed because the Odin will kill them. The Cosmic Divide comes up, but it's a bit too late. It can't protect the people who put up the Cosmic Divide itself. And the shock darts are just so good.
Oh my
One
God,
person
look at
above.
that.
And
enemy
Trick
remaining.
has been instantly blocked
Wow,
off.
Cactus.
Cactus like a thorn in their side. Just such an annoying pest to deal with.
Stranger was tucked into that corner, and his gun barrel was seen, but he was somehow still alive because Cactus was aiming for his head. I think if he was aimed for his hand, he would have probably died. But still, Cactus came out on top. He knew that one player was going to jump upon him. The other was trying to distract. And that's exactly what happened, but Cactus was so ready for that. And he stepped up now. It's looking pretty good. Another round for the side of FS as they put up now 4 on the board. But Salt are not going anywhere. They still have economy. And they still have a pretty good buy.
But how will they deal with this now? Like, FS have just managed to deliver a very crucial blow to Salt. And Salt's economy, which was looking very strong at one point, is now starting to look a little fragile. Yeah, that's how they deal with it. You put Trick on mid, and you get him the frags. No smoke to cover FS's entrance either, so I don't know if they will be able to make this work. Whatever smokes they have haven't committed towards the B defender entrance. But they move into the site without any problems, and they're getting all the frags. They have the site for themselves, except for Salt. Hats over here. He should be able to defend this to a little bit, but Dominic is already in the site from lane 1, and he takes care of him. 2v3.
Spike planted.
Retake definitely possible right now. There's a lockdown available, which he can put up just near the button, and they won't be able to break it.
Oh yeah, that is true. Unless the side of FS decide to push it in. Which they will as soon as they see it, but Beast actually gets the kill. Beautiful. He spots out a pixel, and that's all he needs. And now this lockdown needs to be pushed upon. B2, Cortez, you're gonna get caught out over here. You have to go in. You have to go in right now. He gets 1 kill. What? Again? Are you serious? No
In the
way.
previous match, Dominic pulled off stuff like this with a sheriff, and this time he does it again? Oh
No,
my
you
god.
know the best part, Crips? You know the best part? B2 didn't move an inch from his position. It was just Cortez. He went on a one-man journey. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be Rambo here, and I'm gonna run straight in all by myself. B2 didn't move. He did not go towards lane 1 to help out his teammate, thinking that maybe he would hide in that corner and they wouldn't really suspect him to be there. But Cortez, milliseconds, that man pulls out the round for his team. What a play.
Want to see more of him. This time Trick has been instantly taken care of. What's even funnier, that B2 got all the armor he wanted for absolutely free. He spent like $400 to buy light armor and then overhealed the rest. And now he has just as much as he would have if he invested $1,000 into heavy armor. That's the worst part about Reyna. Once she gets started, she can just get armor for absolutely free. The overheal is just very OP like that. And this wasn't supposed to be a round which Salt were able to do much in anyway. They didn't have too much weaponry. They do retrieve 1 Vandal, but I don't think Beast will get to save it.
Yeah, his shoulder peeked out. Cortez had the perfect angle. Another 3K for this man, by the way. He's put in a lot of work. Timeout for FS, actually. Okay. This is interesting. They've been on the momentum. I don't know why they would want to take a timeout. Any idea, Crips? Why would FS take a timeout? Because I think Salt needs it more at the moment.
I think FS just wanted to keep up their momentum. They don't want to lose it out to Salt. And it's a pretty important round too, because take a look at the money that Salt have. Barely anyone in the $1,000 range. Trick has extra $1,100 to spare, but that's because in the previous round he didn't buy anything at all. He just bought the Bladestorm. He was saving up for the AWP, and he might be able to afford a Spectre in the next round, but nobody else can. Stranger can't even afford a weapon this round. He will be able to buy the Vandal and the armor this one round, but then he'll be down to like, what, $100 or something? 100 credits? They do have 3 ultimates, though. 2 of them can be devastating in terms of damage. The Showstopper and the Hunter's Fury. Now, this could be big if they use it properly, that is.
Well, they need to use it properly. We have to make a couple of speculations as to how Salt could get out of this tricky situation. It only starts by them getting capitalization on back of the kills that I think Trick has been getting for them initially with that operator. Because they fall apart immediately after, I don't know how. But FS somehow find ways, even though they're a man down, to get everything in their favor. Trick this time towards A main is being played with, is being toyed with those Astra stars. And the opponent, a stranger, is gonna get as much information as he needs towards mid. He finds at least 2 players, and the third by the backs of the sound of that owl drone that's gone in towards short. Mid is heavily contested as right now Cortez trying to make some strides towards A short is gonna be denied by all that utility, and now Beast is coming to the rescue with the same, or at least trying to.
But a minute into the round, almost no map control available for Team FS. Yeah, sure, they're knocking on the doors of mid and short. One person out just outside of B as well, but they don't have a plan just yet. They're just putting up all the stars and smoke so that they can move into its mid and maybe at least take control of market. But if they get revealed by the recon dot, well, then all of them are going to get sprayed down with the Odin. They close the doors so that they can please buy a little bit more time for the defenders to rotate over towards the B side, but the rotations are not here yet. 2 people still on the A side. And to buy some extra time,
Oh, but look at where
they
the
will try to
is.
move back towards
30 seconds left.
the back side. The lockdown, I don't think it's going to be able to do much. Nobody gets detained, but the Hunter Scooty is amazing. Instead of targeting the lockdown, he targets the players, and that's a much more effective solution.
I did not understand that lockdown. I genuinely did not understand that lockdown. Why was it there? Why did it go towards mid? The back of B. I know you want to isolate these players and maybe get in, but the fact of the matter is you need to make sure that you win those duels when you've got a lockdown as such. Those guys are going to have an advantage because you don't know how many players on the back of that side. And if it's 2 of them and they've got utility characters, you always have to be careful. You need to read out if there's a, raise, which is a real possibility of throwing a grenade in your face when you're trying to run into the side, and that's going to give a lot of damage. Salt Esports did a pretty good job of holding down that side. Jivix with his utility, as well as Hat. And now, FS will have another buy coming in, but the round has gone away. This one, they would desperately want to try and seal to have at least a lead of 7-5 as they run in towards the A side.
Oh my god, they don't just run in, they waltz into it. Salt are doing everything they can to shoot down people as they attack with the recon dot, and this recon has been yielding a lot of kills to the players of Salt, but exit frags for Beast as the door closes in on his face is great. Cortez going over aggressive into heaven, and he gets punished for it. All these mistakes being committed by FSESPORTS, and of course, it's no surprise that Salt will be able to win rounds like these. They don't break the recon dot. The result, they get shot down through the doorway as they're trying to move into the site. Cortez climbs up to the heaven for the 3rd time in a row. Every time he's on the A side, he does it. And of course, eventually you will be able to deal with him if he's coming aggressive in the same position every time. So that was to be expected too. Those kind of mistakes are what led to the victory of Team Salt in this round.
Yeah. All right. Now FS need to try and make something work with their eco, but Trick is going to put a stop to it, at least on the mid side of things. Gets an early kill onto Coley, so there's going to be no recons available. Cortez, he's getting a little fidgety right now. He wants a kill, he wants it bad, but he's, again, the recon not being taken out. Twice it rang up the doorbell of the side of FS, and they answered it. And Stranger is going to just spray them down even before they can open the door. The last man left is Dominic, who's going to have players swarming about his position in about a couple of seconds now. And what's it with the recon not being broken down? I don't get it.
Exactly my point. Like, they lost so many players because of it. That recon probably has been getting the most value that we have ever seen a SOA create in all of Gauntlet, across all seasons. And that's not a compliment. No, that is not. That's a problem that FS need to fix.
Most certainly do. Somebody needs to keep an eye on those recons. Letting it ring once is fine. Letting it get you twice is a mistake. I can understand once if it rings, you know, it might be a little too fast for you, not knowing when it's going to come out, where it's going to be hitting. But you guys are professional players for a reason. These recon darts are basically something that writes your death sentence. And if you let it go on for too long, it's going to be in your blood, not in ink.
Especially when you're playing a map like Ascent. The only thing you can use to cover certain areas are these smokes. And if you get pinged through the smoke, obviously you are gonna get shot down. And it's an open map too, so it's not like you can hide anywhere. Almost every surface is penetrable by the weapons, especially with an Odin.
Right. Got a small little tech pause now. Not to worry, nobody has disconnected yet. I think there is a little bit of a tech issue, but it will be resolved soon. But this half that should have been FS's has now been brought back to life by Salt. And now that we moved around, the last round of the half, they've got an Odin on both sides, and that should be interesting because I think there could be an Odin battle towards the B main side of things. Let's see where it goes to fruition, though.
That will not be an Odin battle.
Right here.
That will not be an Odin battle. That will be an anime battle.
Anime battle, huh? I mean,
Right there.
I would love to see an Odin on the Jets. You know, I love it when, you know, just imagine a Jet holding an Odin. He's holding a angle. Like, instead of holding an operator down B main, he's holding the Odin. And then he gets an Odin kill and then he dashes away. And then he's just running around with the Odin instead of the operator. Beautiful, beautiful.
Why not?
I love it.
Why not?
I love it. Right now, the Odin's towards mid with Stranger, though, as FSESPORTS concentrate towards B. Trick is gonna be spotted out by the turret, so they're not gonna peek it. They might have an idea that the operator is there here, but the B main's been taken control of. Now, so that orb's taking place, and there it is. It goes down. The immediate response is gonna be the lockdown. Jivix. As much as he tries, I don't think that lockdown's gonna be going out. He's just wasting his bullets at this point. That's just gonna not waste his bullets though as he gets a kill. And the lockdown at this point has been completely rendered useless. The side has not gone their way. But kill might! Stranger almost dies. But there's so much utility and bullets being exchanged, so much chaos. It's still Salt Esports on top of things. 3 versus 5. Jivix will find success. Here comes the Hunter's Fury as well. It's gonna be up to Cactus. He loses his life, but Coley's gonna find one. 2 versus 4. It's definitely not easy.
You are
Quite available now, putting it down on the 2 entrances. But here's the problem. There is a lockdown available on the other side. And this lockdown covers almost everything. And there's no way you can break it now because you can't spam through the wooden works and you can't spam through the crossing fight. But you can push it. And the moment they try to push it, it works. Oh, Beast was in a position to shut them down as soon as FSP started to pour out. And that's a 6-6 now. Imagine at one point you're leading 6-2 and then you concede the last few rounds, make it 6-6. It's just a little unfortunate, but hey, this is a more even Stevens game than we imagined. Sure,
I want to know.
It's different from Haven. Like in Haven, both the teams win one round each simultaneously. Here, at least they're able to string 3-4 rounds together, but they're still tied up. So it's just like Haven all over again.
It is, but I want to know. The last 4 rounds that did fall apart for FS were after the timeout they took, Cribs.
Oof, that's a good observation.
Yeah, so that timeout, I think, like I said, you know, they were having a good momentum. Did they break it by themselves?
I don't know, maybe their opponents got a chance to talk with each other too and kind of help them out more. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one of these teams takes the tactical timeout. Both of them can use it just as well. It seems like Salt Esports did the better job this time around.
They most certainly did. Now, Coley needs to be careful. If somebody peeks out from B main, could be the end of his life because he's all alone by himself on this site. No cover somebody looking towards B main because his teammate closest to him is Cactus and he's having an eye towards mid. As Salt Esports are running away from the B side, they're going towards A now. All 4 of them, while they leave Beast alone over here to try and find out some rotations that he can cut off or maybe lurk himself. And here comes a big force that the side of FS need to handle. They've got 3 players over here, which is good enough. And Cactus is kind of confused right now, lingering about his own spawn, thinking about where he can go. And it has to be A. And there it is. 4v4 fight coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Defense is flawless. Cortez in the cloud burst. He bursts everybody
Spike
down.
down
B2 and
A.
Dominic come in to surprise and help them out. But what can Beast
30
do?
seconds left.
He's a pointless lurker at this point, but at least he has one little frag to himself, so it's just consolation. 4 HP remaining, there's really not much that he can do, and I think this round is done and dusted already. Stellar defense from the side of Team FS as they demolish everyone from
seconds
Salty
left.
Sports as they're trying to ult the side. Just straight up shred them like a meat grinder.
You know what I love the most? Oh. Okay, now that's what I love the most. Okay. But what
What was the other thing? What was the other thing?
The other thing was, when they were coming towards A main, right? That smoke went up from the side of FS, from Dominic. He put up a smoke. And then immediately, when they knew that these guys are going to be rushing in, Cortez threw down both of his smokes in front of that. So there was this complete disarray of where exactly Salt thought they were going to go. So the players repositioned themselves from FS, where they were originally in. They set up a crossfire in 3 different directions, thanks to those 2 jet smokes, and they found a jump on them. I love that. That was really good from Cortez.
Oh, very fast execute towards 3.
Obscuring
They don't
vision.
even mind giving away
Damn it.
footsteps. It's the choo-choo train, and the train has been derailed. Halted
down
right
A.
in its tracks.
You know what that reminded me of? You
You
said they don't even giving out sound. They just, you know, it's like that meme I remember. It's the final brain cell, and they're just running in with that sound.
Move in, bro. Full speed. Hey, I'm completely okay with this. This was an eco round. It was supposed to be a throwaway one. So
Yeah,
just
but
move in and see what the defense of FS looks like. Hopefully, you'll be able to gather some information and use it in the next round, which is the more important one. This is the
yeah,
final buy round.
I was just laughing at the way they were just jumping. Everybody's just jumping on A short. They're jumping in garage and there's garden.
Hey,
It was
because they're having
amazing.
fun.
Amazing.
having fun.
I love it. Yeah,
The
exactly.
choo-choo
I
train
love
is
it.
fun.
Well, I hope that they multiplied their brain cells now, because Salt need to take this a little bit more seriously. They've left the spike towards B, as they have left both their duelists towards A to try and see if there's going to be any pushes. There isn't, but Cactus might find an easy kill here. An off angle. Easy kill. He's just going to get back towards mid, and now that man advantage is good enough. But the thing about that B side is Cactus is the only one defending it, and he too is right next to Market. So if Salt would have chosen to push in blindly, they would have gotten the B side for themselves. But now they're going to have to rotate towards A and try out different things.
Instead, they dry peek. Only one person does. I mean, there was the Astra available right next to him, but they didn't do anything. Cortez gets away with murder. Doesn't use the dash, which means he still has it available for some other tricky situation if he gets stuck. Gravity Well doesn't let them through, but the counter Gravity Well allows Trick to move right inside and gets both of them.
Standing.
Everyone's stunned,
Spike
everyone's
down
surprised, but
30
Trick
seconds
has been
left.
spotted out, and B2 has no intention of fighting him all by himself. They won't repeat the same mistake that Salt did, and they will probably try to go ahead and fight them all at the same time. Trick realized that they're trying to flank him around from the garden side. He's like, yeah, there should be one person in heaven. He should be alone. That's my opportunity to turn it into a 1v1 fight. I'm going to take the fight to them. But unfortunately, by the time he got his boots on the ground, he was already plucked off.
Yeah, 9th round up for FS. They're holding down the defensive lines pretty well in the last couple of rounds.
Sentry.
They've made up for their mistakes that they did in the attacking half in the last 4. Now they've put Salt on another eco. That's gonna be double digits. 90% confirmed unless there's a thrifty of the highest order that comes in. Look at this. I love this. I love this aggressive approach. They know it's an eco, so they're gonna try and assert their dominance. A 145 hit comes in, and Jivix is gonna be feeling that in his gut. It hurts so much when that goes against you. And FS are just punishing the side of Salt on an eco at this point. Oh, wait, what?
Well, at least Stranger has some tricks up his sleeve. So it's not a complete loss. And, you know, every time you're able to get a kill with the shock dart, your confidence kind of boosts up. So yeah, I think he should be feeling pretty fine and dandy right now. He's got a better weapon too. And he's got an isolated 1v1 against Kohli. Now Kohli just doing a good enough job of holding him back. He sees him go back towards gardens and information will be relayed to P2. And he's holding an angle which I don't think he's going to be able to check.
Yeah. 6-10 now, ladies and gentlemen. FS are looking really strong at this point. And finally, there's a timeout from the other side. Salt have called it in. They know that they need to do damage control here, Cribs. And they have to come up with a strategy to try and break this defense. Because so far, nothing's worked out for them in the second half. And as we all know, the defense in Ascent is a half that everybody wants to be on. It's always the advantage to be on defense. But when they were on it, they actually had a difficult time. They pulled it back to 6-6. And now that they're on the attack, they're falling apart. Do you think that there could be a strategy that they could apply? Maybe, I don't know, a blatant B rush, not think about anything. That could help out because, I don't know, maybe it works.
A blatant one? Maybe not so much. Hey, there is one thing you can do. If you do go for any of these YOLO rushes, at least make sure that you're trading well. I mean, there was certain instances where Salt Esports were just fighting them one by one, dry peeking. I mean, of course, they will be dry peeking almost all the time. There are no flashes available, but you can combine it with a little bit of added security from the Nebulas. Maybe some gravity wells to clear out the common positions. If nothing else, at least double peek at the same time. That's something that Salt can do. And it's what they were doing in Haven. That's how they were able to get to 13-11. But in Ascent, the trading is just out of the window. Everyone's just dry peeking one by one. And that's probably why they're losing too. It's a very easy problem to fix. But it's easier said than done.
Right here.
Most certainly is. And now they're going towards B. The spike is here and so are 4 players.
Oh no!
Oh god, that was almost too close for comfort. That could have gotten the kill. But it's gonna be surviving for now. Right? Go for
right
this.
Here.
What do we got? Show us. Okay, another spray! Kohli! Going in straight for it.
You know what the funny part is? At this point, FS have so much money that if he runs out of bullets in that Odin, he's not gonna reload. There's an extra Phantom just lying around over there that he can pick up and start shooting in case things go wrong. Like, there's extra weapons on the ground just lying there. That's a flex right there. And he finally gets one. He kills straight through the wall.
Great, I love it. That's the thing I kind of live for. Come on. There it is. Odin kills
And he
on
did it
defense.
without any recon dots or any utility. He just used his instinct.
30
All right.
seconds left.
Cortez is holding down the angle here, and he needs to get the thumb kill. Okay, he does get one, but it's not going to be Jivix. Actually, Stranger in the back. Dominic finds one, and there's going to be trades going back and forth. Jivix is making things work. B2 has to go back.
They just need to deny the spike plant. And they
10
can do
seconds
that
left.
by sending recon dots or maybe some shock dots. As soon as they hear the spike being planted, they can go ahead and kill the planter!
Spike down A.
All they needed. That is all they needed. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That shock dart, they expected it, that this plant is going to be closed under heaven. And the presence of mind to do that shock dart immediately when you hear it was great from Kohli.
And it was very predictable too. Like, even I knew this was going to happen like 10 seconds before he even pulled out his bow. This was very predictable. Every time someone tries to go in for this Navi style execute, you know, when you rush into the side with 10, 20 seconds remaining, the only thing you need to do is stop the spike plant from happening. And when you've got agents like a Killjoy, an Astra, and a Sova on your team, you can easily stop the spike from being planted that late into the round. This time it's a very fast one. Not so fancy on the footwork over there, Jivix, and he gets shot down mid-air. Stranger does bring it back, but that's just one kill, and Trick is taking way too much Nana Swarm damage.
Oh boy. Salt, they're falling apart. This is gonna be match point for FS. And it is match point for FS. B2, he gets a third of the round. And FS have completely dismantled Salt in their push. This A-blind push is just... oh my god, crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff. I don't really know what Salt were thinking. They just wanted to go in for this. And yeah, they've gone in for it, and it is great.
Well, another A hit incoming, maybe? All of them are just gearing up outside of A main. And the problem is, they're not even trying to take control near tree. If they do, then they'll run into the Opera in the form of Cortez. But this time they've got the lockdown.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we know what Dominic does whenever he sees a lockdown. Oh, okay. Okay, they're actually falling back from the side. They don't stay over here. B2 gets detained deliberately, and they walk past him! Stranger, he literally runs past B2, he doesn't see them!
Spike planted.
Oh my god, what's happening?
No way this is happening. No way. Oh, but they've got the site though. And the plan's gone down as well. So Salt, they have a chance of winning this. But what they don't know, what is FS doing? They're just going chasing behind Stranger at this point. And they've forgotten about the spike. And now the retake in the 5v5 has to come in. And here comes the Defender Killjoy's turret. Lockdown. It's gonna be taken out by Stranger. Only comes in the backstab, finds the kill.
No.
Jivix gets 2 with the showstopper. And Salt are making it work. They're gonna live another round.
What a chaotic round it has been, but it's not over yet. The time is ticking out, and maybe this will be Salt's win for the taking. But FS can always take exit frags and deny them all the utility, which will kill everybody.
Oh, trick.
No weapons taken forward. They're going to be back on an eco next round.
They are going to be in an eco. It is... I mean...
Look at that.
And
Vandals with light armor. Spectres with heavy shields, maybe. Something like that. And no ultimates available. None whatsoever.
And FS, on the other half, have got pretty much what they need. They still have an Odin. They still have Vandals. They still have Phantoms. And even an Operator. So they're fully stacked in. Salt Esports, they're still not out of the water. Might have won that round. But it's still going to take a lot of work to get out of this mess that FS have built up in front of them. That recon is not going to detect anybody, but they will know that there's players here, at least 2. They heard 2 different gunshots. Now Cortez has to get this kill. He will. Beast taken out, and now Trick is going to updraft and find some kills for himself. Only 1 though. Cactus has gone out of the picture. Hats gets another. A lot of chaos yet again in this round as FS are holding down their ground towards the B side. It's not up 1. Holy only good for 1. It's gonna be a 3 versus 2. FS need to make this work if they don't want to give away another 2 rounds.
Stranger holding for the backstab. Jivix deliberately going up towards Market, trying to make this one work right here and now. Taking matters into his own hands rather than waiting for FS to make the first move. But Stranger might just die over here. Hey, he falls back. B2's position's been revealed too. And now Jivix can hold down this area. They haven't planted the spike just yet.
Yeah, they haven't. B2. You know, he's been at the top of his game today. Just needs to find the 1v1s yet again, and he will find an easy kill. He goes in for it, and he has one towards B main. He spots him out as well. That recon confirms that there is 1 on site and 1 towards B main, so that's going to be isolated picks. Stranger's trying to come and help his teammate out over here, and he's made it here just in time. But B2 spots his ultimate. He's looking in the right direction. A beautiful kill comes in. B2, he knows exactly where this person is. And B2 clutches it out for his team. What a play! What a player! A 1v3 yet again against Salt Esports, and FS pulled us out a 2-0 victory.
Clutch.
What a beautiful play!
I swear to God, I criticized FS in Haven for fighting them 1v1 and letting that Killjoy have that clutch. But then the same thing happens to Salt Esports and they get a taste of their own medicine. I think it was Stranger who was able to clutch it out in Haven, that 1 versus 3. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Stranger who got the 1v3, and it was crazy. The only thing that I really did not get in the last part of the round was, Quips, that when we looked at Jivik standing there in that corner, he was looking only towards, Market, but why was nobody having an eye towards Defender side spawn? Nobody had an eye there.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything, and Jivik's just free kill for B2, and he will take it any time of the day. Immediate Empress form comes in, end of the game.
I think the player who was playing inside of B main was the one responsible for watching the defender entrance, but
yeah,
they decided to hold an off angle of sorts so that they could spot him while going in towards lane 2 down the stairs, but not when he's trying to come up towards market from the defender end. And then that's how Jivix died. And the funny part is, as
Unfortunate.
soon as Jivix died, the player in B main should have swung wide, but even that did not happen. So both the teams making similar kind of mistakes in two different maps, two different occasions, but that's the basic rule of clutching. You have to isolate and exterminate, and B2 was able to do it this time around.
Let's go to the match highlights now to have a look at how exactly it all transpired. As we have Salt Esports pretty much, I don't know what happened in this map. I thought they would, have a say in this and maybe take us to map number 3, but hey, it's happened.
It has happened indeed. It's gone down the distance, and I really thought that maybe this will be the map in which Salt Esports can make a comeback, because they did look a little stable going into the second half. But then FS once again started to just dominate out and about, and Salt Esports really couldn't do much after that. I mean, at one point, FS was leading 3-0, maybe 4-0, if I'm not wrong. I could have been mistaken over here. But then Hats picks off that triple kill with the Sheriff to start things off. And that was the round in which Salt Esports made it work. I think this is exactly the round in which we saw Hats do it. A triple kill with the Sheriff, and that got Salt their first round. It also kind of broke FS economy to some extent, which allowed them to get a couple more rounds and stitch them together. But even after the first half, the problems did not start for Salt Esports. It's mostly in the second half when they start to struggle. These lockdowns were super annoying, right? I mean, look at Cortez just not getting worried about Detain. He just moves in to kill everybody and manages to get the last kill in the nick of time before the lockdown pops off. And we saw Dominic do it in the last map. This time Cortez did it. So there's a lot of similarities between Haven and Ascent. A lot of these things just kept on repeating. And I know that I sound like a broken record right now, but how many times will teams keep on pulling off the same 1v3 clutches, the same lockdown shenanigans?
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, you really want to think that these guys, when they look at these kind of situations come in, they need to stick together. At least two players stick together. I know you want to hold off different avenues and all that, but when you're in a situation where you know that the player is having a great game against you, you always need to make sure it's always a 2v1 fight, not a 1v1. 2v1 at least confirms that there's going to be one player who goes down and there's going to be a trade immediately after. But when you give away a free kill like how they did in Jivix towards the end, and then there was again the position of both the players that B2 needed, he gave it away. It was given to him pretty much on a silver platter, and he knew that immediately as soon as that recon came in that this stranger is gonna come up towards first lane and try to support his teammate on B main. So he had to just hold on to his angles and wait until he saw his shoulder, blow his head off, and got even the last kill onto Trick. A beautiful win by FS and a great start to their campaign in the TEC Gauntlet Season 3. It's been wonderful. Two amazing maps that I watched, honestly, and I enjoyed every single bit of it.
Definitely. Stranger, the MVP for Salt Esports. Not just in Ascent, I think. I mean, I don't know statistically who's the MVP in Haven, but in my opinion, just because of that 1v3 clutch, Stranger has to be the MVP of Haven as well. In this map, though, B2 just popped off. Like, has 26 kills. How on earth do you even justify that? 16 kills on the second highest fragger, and then this guy is 10 whole frags ahead of him. So that's just B2 getting away with murder, just dismissing back to safety every time he's in danger. And that's how he can play these one and done angles and still make it work. Good job by Team FSESPORTS as they start strong in the TEC Gauntlet Season 3. But with this, let's take a look at the final standings table and see how it actually affects the overall gist of the tournament. Sure, FSESPORTS, they were able to win 2 maps back to back, which means they will have a 2-0 lead. But Salt won't get any points out of this. Like, if they won a single map, they would have at least got 1 point, but they get none. So that's not the kind of start that they would have been looking for.
Yeah, most certainly not. Salt Esports, we've seen them face off against the big leagues, and they've actually shown how they can hold their feet on the ground and stand up. But FS Esports found the better of them here. That's going to be a little painful. And they're going to be going at the bottom of the table along with the rest of the losers this week. We've got Salt, Only Friends, Reckoning, and Enigma, all four who've lost their matches, as we've got Velocity, The Squad, Weird Esports, and FS with wins. It is going to be really, really interesting how this is going to be transpiring in the further weeks to come. But hey, one win on the first day is not going to tell the story of the rest of the season, is it? One loss also isn't going to tell the story for the rest of the season, as we are going to have to wait and watch who exactly is going to be coming out in the top 4 positions.
Yeah, in the top 4 positions right now, FSESPORTS definitely will be very happy with this one. Of course, it shows that they have 0 wins, but that's okay. We know they have 1 win. The other teams like Velocity, Squad, and Weird Esports also have been able to make this one work. Reckoning, unfortunately, couldn't make it work last time, and neither could Salt today. But we do have a couple of more games for you, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we have one more game today at 8 o'clock, and we already know that it's going to be a banger because TEAMXO are playing in it.
Yep, TEAMXO are going to be making their debut in Season 3, and they're going to be playing against ROG Academy. It is this team coming back after their first season. They did not play in the second, but some of their players were here, and now they're back for the third with their own edition of another team. It's going to be a great match, so I can't wait for it. It's going to be aired in just about an hour, 20 minutes. We're going to see how it all pops up, ladies and gentlemen, as we are done with the 4 p.m. match now. FS Esports have beaten up Salt, Black and Blue, to take this 2-0 victory home. And we are going to be seeing how is it that EXO versus ROG is going to transpire. For now, though, we're going to be taking a break, and we're going to come back at 8 p.m. with the second match of the day. And we expect that it's going to be just as good as this one. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just about an hour or more to give you all the more action that we can on LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial, and our apparel partner, none other than 656. Thank you for joining us for this game. Do make sure to check out the description below for all the links, for all the deals that we have for you listed down there. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you like the content, be sure to hit the notification bell icon so that you can get notified every time we have high action matches like these coming up. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a bit. Happy gaming until then, and thank you for watching.